Hey, how's everybody doing? Here we go. Getting it started. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. Say it to my face, don't pretend. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. And I ain't got. Shit, baby, I got you. Friends come and go, friends come and go like the seasons. I never know what to believe in. And it's getting old, but no hard feelings. Cause friends come and go without a reason. And I've been in LA for way too long. Can't get this air inside my lungs. It feels like I'm suffocating from all the lack of the realness here. Is there anybody real out here? Got my middle up while I'm singing. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. I've had it up to the ceiling. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. And I ain't got the time, money in my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. And lately I've been dealing with mad stress. Comes with the territory of a Hollywood address. Is anybody real here? I need some fact checks. I need more realness. Need you to act less, cause they deserve Oscars. So many imposters. What's up with guest lists? Can I come to your concerts? We all got demons. I'm dealing with monsters. I've taken every picture, signed titties and some shirts. But at the same time, I know I'm blessed to be here. So let's just be clear. A million kids wish they had the spot. I got success is not a sandy beach here. Be careful with the people you meet here. I'm saying, yeah. Is there anybody real out here? Yeah. Got my middle up while I'm singing. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. I've had it up to the ceiling. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. Yeah. You don't need them. Baby, you know I feel you. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. Say it to my face, don't pretend. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. Say it to my face, don't pretend. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. Is there anybody real out here? Got my middle up while I'm singing. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. I've had it up to the ceiling. Fuck fake friends, we don't need them. Only thing they're good for is leaving. And I ain't got the time, money on my mind. I say it to your face, fuck fake friends. Hey, now that's not digging on anyone. It's just a lot of that shit going around like the flu, right? Hey, Mark, how you doing? Replay 71, my girl, Sophie. Um, let's see. I already said Mark, Texas. Watch that beard, buddy. Um, Froggy, good to see you, honey. Um, who am I missing? Let me scroll up. Um, Betty, good to see you, sweetheart. Baroness, good to see you. And anybody else catching us on replay? Brooke Bishan. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hello, you all.
Okay. Now go watch TV with your aunts. Okay? Good job, baby. Blissful. I hope I didn't miss you, honey. Anyway, um, we're going to talk about different things tonight that have been going on all over the place, right? Just madness. It seems just like nobody comments or anything. I usually don't say anything about this stuff, but it just seems to be escalating and stuff. Hey, Tilly. Good to see you, sweetheart. Um, and, you know, it's just too much anymore. Baroness, good to see you. Um, I usually don't say anything, but come on. You know, if I'm gonna start saying something, shit's a happening. Tiffany, good to see you, sweetheart. Exactly. There's fires all over the place, and it's just, right? Um, I usually don't weigh in on it, but you know what? Hey, I gotta say something. It's just, first off, I'm gonna state this: 71 is my go-to. She's my friend. Yeah, she's my ride or die. I will say that straight out. Everybody who's been around freaking knows that. Um, and I don't want any misconceptions out there that I just agree with everything 71 does or says. I don't. 71 will tell you I don't. If she pulls some shit, I'll be the first to say something. You know what I mean? I'm the first to call her ass on the carpet. Oh, gangsta OG. Um, um, do we think a lot alike? Yeah, but there's a lot of things we don't always agree on because 71, I love you. Everybody knows this. She's got the personality that she just tells it like it is. There's no candy coating. She just seems a little rough around the edges. People might take her wrong sometimes. But you know what? You always know what you're going to get with her. Okay? I'm just going to say that. Now, just because she may not get along with certain people doesn't mean that I don't like them, you see. So I don't want people out here attacking me just because they don't agree with her. I mean, come on. That's a little petty. And it has happened. It's just stupid. It's asinine and it's immature. But hey, Ethereal. Um, I will say that, if she says something, she's usually, you got to say, usually when somebody one says something, it's what a lot of people are thinking, but don't have the balls to say. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. Um, and this isn't all about her. I'm just saying this because, you know, I was accused of basically enabling her, by saying this kind of thing. And it's not enabling. I'm being very neutral in that. Hey, Chris, how you doing, sweetheart? How's that gorgeous baby? So, and, that's just how it is. I have my own opinions, just like Blissful has her own opinions. Texas has his. Um, Tilly has hers. Chris has hers. Baroness has hers. Everybody's got their own thing. Yeah. Replay. See, Replay's out there with her opinions too. You know what I mean? But I respect people that are, boom, out there with it. Rip that damn band aid off. Me, I'm a little kinder with my words. I'm a little more thoughtful in the presentation, but that's how I choose to approach things. Everybody has a right to approach things the way they feel they need to. So, what else should we talk about? We have so much to cover with all this crap, right? And I'm not, and of course, the title was kind of catchy, right? With all this Discord, this and that, and this and group chats, and you know what I mean? Someone's always getting pulled into this and that, right? Um, it's no shade on anyone, period. I'm going to say it right there. It's a brilliant play on words. Um, I'm not involved in any group chats or, or Discord, so and I'm not the type to show shit like that. Hey, Jura, good to see you, honey. I don't play that game, and I'm sorry. I know a lot of people do, and that's up to them. But that's not how I choose to do that, do things. Yeah, we don't do group chats. We have learned our lesson from a year ago. And I didn't say anything in that group chat that I don't say outside or outside of group chats. So it's not really surprising, right? Um, I admit, I fully admit that sometimes I can be an asshole. I say that in chats. I'm not always perfect. I don't I don't pretend to be. None of us are. But you know what? I try to be respectful of everybody else. And if that upsets people because I am kind to others, or I try to bridge a peace between people, hey, that's on you. I really, exactly, nobody's perfect. And I've never heard anybody say, you know, anyone that I'm really close to say, oh, I'm perfect. I'm, shit. Oh, nobody says that. I mean, that I hang around right, replay? No group chats or discords, man. I discussed this before. I feel that people can misinterpret things that are written verbally in those, or not verbally, you know what I mean. Things that are typed out can be misconstrued sometimes. And some people can take things the wrong way or get offended. And because there's no real tone to it, um, I think that people tend to be jealous and petty sometimes around these streets. Um, do I see people out here sometimes that have ulterior motives? Yep, I see it. But doesn't mean I'm gonna like be nasty about it. Fuck no. But I'm also not gonna drag someone because you know what? I could be wrong. I haven't so far, but I could be. And there's no reason to ruin somebody's reputation over a maybe, a hypothetical, or a possibility, right? It's just not my style. Um, that's Chris, you're so right. It's a landmine, but you know what? There's no reason we can't discuss things, and give our opinions without feeling like, drag you. You want me to drag you, Sophie? I'm not going to drag you, you British chippy bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, crazy bird. And everybody handles these things differently. I Replay says Ginger, I was falsely accused of disclosing Discord chats. Never happened. It wasn't me, but that's okay. You know what? Replay. I know you're right out there with what you say. You know what I'm saying? You're a pretty upfront person, and that's what people got to understand. When someone's really blunt and upfront, those are not the ones you have to worry about exposing things. It's usually the ones that aren't so innocent that like to point fingers, if that makes any sense. Um, that's how these people operate in the in. That's why it's okay. That's why it's like the little thumbnail was like rats scurrying. You know what I mean? Um, that is no play on nicknames or anything. Just let it be known. It's just that rats scurry around in the dark and then, you know, cause havoc and do all this crazy shit. It's not the upfront and blunt people you have to worry about. You know, it's usually the ones that are not upfront. It's the passive aggressive bullshit. It's the let's make jabs. Come on. If you got a problem with someone, work it out with them. Don't make everybody else curious as what's happening, right? Exactly. The quiet ones. Sometimes you have to worry about them, right? I mean, I we all know I'm not very good at being quiet. Big YouTube is big enough for everyone, Jura says. Just keep moving it. If you dislike folks, that's right, Jura. Like block, disregard. Hey, Maddie, good to see you, sweetheart. No, I'm not crying. I just kind of have like a rough voice today. Um, I woke up like with like a little bit of a cough and a sore throat, but I'm trying to relieve it. Yeah, watch you. That's right. Just try to be respectful of people. Often people mistake me for being passive aggressive. No, just by how I type, but I'm far from it. Yeah. So Sophie, you're kind of silly. That's how you are. Um, and I think a lot of people take things way too serious. I'm having flashbacks of old community with all this shit going on. I mean, I'm telling you, it just oh, we are going to get to the scamming here. See, me too, Betty. I am a peacemaker, and I like people from all over. I mean, and I respect people. If there's no reason why you can't have a respectful discourse about things. You don't have to be petty. You don't have to dogpile people. I see. I'm one of those people. I can't stand to see people being dogpiled or dragged. I can't stand to see subs being called out and dragged. That's just freaking heinous. Yeah, you are, Sophie. You're used to laughing and goofing around, and that's okay. You know, people just tend to get too butthurt or take things offensively. If you don't, okay, I'm going to put this right out there. There is a good portion of people that if you don't agree with everything they say or everything they want, then they have to be passive aggressive and pushy and snarky and snippy, and they don't realize that their opinion is not always the only opinion. And I'm just saying that's a lot of people. It's not just one person, it's a lot of people like that. I'm gullible when it comes to friends because when I form a good friendship, it gets thrown in my mug. Well, you know what? It's it's hard. It's hard. I've had it happen, but it didn't make me give up. It didn't make me give up. And there's a lot of decent people here. And you also say that I think everybody at one point or another is going to be stubborn. Everybody's going to be stubborn. Everybody's going to have those moments where they think that they are right and nobody else is right, and they're going to stand their ground. That's just how it's going to happen sometimes. Yeah, we come across a lot of people. Yeah, and there's a lot of good people. and all over, you know. Um, I know I've been through some shit on here, Jigger, but you know what? It is what it is, right? You can't let it pull you down. And I can't take that experience and make it taint me or make me jaded. I can't take that and be jaded and punish others for something someone's done to me. That's not fair, right? I'm a Libra. I'm all about fairness. That's right. I made it through, and others can make it through too. Hold on.
Can you also tell them that no zodiac sign is ugly? No zodiac sign is ugly.
Nobody's ugly.
No zodiac sign is ugly.
Knows what?
No zodiac sign is ugly.
No zodiac sign is ugly. Okay, thank you for that little tip.
If you search it up on Google, it says nobody.
Okay, I'll be sure to Google that. That's right. And everybody will make it through, and everybody's going to have a little trial here and there.
Each time when I do this, my legs start to shake.
Okay, honey. Go find something to watch, okay, baby?
I want to do the drama.
Hold on. There you go. Go on. Thank you. Sorry, I had to make sure somebody left the room. See, and I think there's nothing that can't be worked out in the long haul. There might be a couple things that can't be, but, I think that people do tend to get jealous on here. I'm going to say that. Um, and you have to understand that, Sophie. As you came in and I told you that before, remember? I said, you came in like a wrecking ball. And some people don't take don't take kindly to people coming in. But I've noticed that some of the same people critiquing you are ones that came in like a wrecking ball themselves last year. So let's just put that out there. This is just, I'm going to put this out there, and anybody can take it for what it's worth. And this is from my own experience. You can either let it just affect you so much that it makes you ill or upsets you or affects your mental health, or you can realize that we are supposed to be here for an escape, a vacay, right, from stress. So if it's stressing you, you step back for a day or two or a week, whatever. And some of these people need to learn that, you know. Not everybody, because a lot of us who've been around for a while understand that already, because we've been through it. Yeah, sometimes you got to ignore it and then uh, think about how this is going to affect you. Does um, oh, I tell you what. Anybody have any? Does anybody have any thoughts they'd like to share on this? If they do, I'll drop the link. Yeah, I mean, replay. You also have other things going. You have your Facebook pages and groups. You have your true crime stuff going on. You have other outlets, and that's what I suggest for anybody. have other outlets. Making deals is not my thing. If you want to prove anything, they can put it up or just leave it be. That's the thing. Doesn't really have to go that far, does it? That's what a lot of people take things way too personal. It doesn't have to go that far. It doesn't have to go to where you're ruining each other or hurting each other. Yeah. Hey, good to see you, Gigi. Mm-hmm. Family first. Yeah, blackmail doesn't go over. And I'm seeing a lot of that too. A lot of emotional blackmail between people. Right, dear? You haven't you haven't had the real YouTube experience until you get your first dragging live. You know what? You know what's so funny? It's like wait until you've had it about 20 times and then you become numb to it, don't you, Jer? You're like, huh, come at me, bro. That's what it becomes. It becomes, come at me. And it gets to where you desensitize to it and you don't take it so personal. Good to see you too, Gigi. And that's the other thing. People, be more discerning. You know what I mean? Don't believe everything someone spouts. There's something else. I don't know. I think Jerm might have mentioned it before. I can't remember who did that, but they said, um, and it's true that sometimes you see these things. Yeah, after the fifth, you're like, I'm old school. Um, that don't always believe what you hear. Don't always believe what you see anymore out here because some of these people are getting pretty good at doctoring things up. You know what I mean? They like to take little tidbits, bits, and cherry pick things. Okay, they will cherry pick things, and then they'll put it together. You know what I mean? And make it. They could take anything you've written. Hell, I'm going to be honest. They can take and make a Facebook, right, messenger with your picture and your name, and make up anything they want, but they really had to, right? So it's almost like I look at these little things and I'm like, I don't even believe that crap anymore. You know, I judge everything, or I shouldn't say judge because I hate to judge. I base my opinions and my perspectives on how people actually act, if that makes sense. If you act consistent, did you want to show me something? If you act consistent out here, if you act consistent out here, that's what I'm going to follow. That's what I'm going to believe. If you're flighty all over the place, then you're less credible to me. I mean, the truth around here looks like it's coming off a funhouse mirror. Exactly. That's why. Hi, Kayla. Good to see you, honey. Um, yeah, that's why it's the longer you've been around, the more you know you've seen these little, spins and tricks. And it's like, why waste my time with this, right? Why waste my time with this? You know, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's, I want to say you can believe about 50% of what you see in evidence. and the rest is up for grabs, right? Right? And just snap. That's what's funny about me using that as a handle. I never snap. Oh, maybe I have. But mm, my snapping is very gentle. You have to really, really earn it. You have to really earn it. I'm glad I was able to clear mine and Big D's name. Yeah, I am too. I am too. And that was really, really, really kind of, and how should I say it? Not disrespectful, just respectful. But um, I have to give Jess credit for that, for being like putting her perspective out there because she was right. I mean, that was really wonky, and she could have went either way with it, but she chose to be like, nope, this is what I'm seeing. You know, oh, somebody went stop threatening me with a good time. Wow. Yes, it was. It's fun to watch. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it is fun to watch people spin out of control. I'll admit it. Guilty pleasure for us all. Guilty pleasure for us all. And I went to YouTube straight away. I was like, whoa, she noticed it too. Yeah, when it's blatantly obvious and in someone's face, you know, you don't know. I mean, you know how it's integrity is what that was. That was integrity. I loved it. I loved the fact that when you don't have a pony in the race and you actually step forward and say your perspective and try to help clear people. I used to like, oh yeah, Chris is a good person, and we both. I mean, and that's I like to call myself a free range sub when I'm out there because I'm a free range sub. You know. Hey Barb, good to see you, sweetheart. And I enjoy it. Many people, but if I see something that ain't kosher and it's been going on so long, I'm gonna say something. And I'm not a drama type. This channel usually is, we chit chat, we discuss things outside that realm. We'll talk about all sorts of things here. Sometimes we'll just talk about nonsense, because it's an escape. It's a vacay from stress. I'm loving those shorts, Barb. Keep those up, girl. But spoke with Big D on the phone and blah. Um, and that's the thing. It's like you see people that are friends, and you don't judge them by who they're friends with all the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, there's a lot of people that I like that are friends with people I don't like, and you know what? It doesn't affect how I feel about them as a person. As long as you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. That's just how I am. Um, it's the individual experience with the individual people. It doesn't matter. I'm sitting here rubbing my boy's noggin. Oh, You have a dog named Rusty? I've got two little doggies, Wesley and Sebastian. These are my boys. Watch out for Texas, y'all. His beard usually runs amok, just so you know. But with everything else going on, everybody's got a grasp on that. If there's anything you'd like to say about it, let me know. I'll drop you a link if you want to talk about that, or we can move on to the scamming thing. I mean, we all want to talk about that deal, don't we? Whoa. There's so many layers to that onion, right? Exactly, replay. You do have friends all over. Yeah. And you know what? That is so cool. I'm like that too. You know me. If Here's the other thing, if I'm on the opposite side of an issue with someone, I'm one of those people that are like, please show me what I've missed. You know, educate me, inform me of the points that I've missed. How many scams this week? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And you know what? And I have friends in different communities too that I'm cool with, you know? Yes, the scamming thing is interesting and funny in a way. I mean, it's not funny to the people that are in the midst of it. I'm going to say that because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are in the midst of it that are really hurting right now. And I don't want to take that and make light of that. We've been in different communities at one point. Yeah. And no, we never fell out because you're all like, okay, you know, and it's cool. Turtle, 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 turtle. Hola. ¿Cómo usted? Okay, I've used up all my Spanish. Except for what? Bandejo. So, anyway. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Turtle, for calling somebody in the community ugly. Because then they came at me, call me ugly. I'm like, well, you know. But I will say this, if I see someone who's a sub that's getting dogpiled, I don't care if they're my friend or not. I'm probably going to say something, and I'll say it in a respectful way. And if, oh, who did you call ugly? You know who you called ugly. Uh. Anyway. Not even 3 days later, she came at me sideways. I'm like, dude, chill, lady. But anyway, is that the real turtle gum? I don't know. You'd have to ask him odd. I mean, I could, but you know, all this attacking you guys, or, I mean, because like I said, I'm a sub. I don't have as much content as most of these creators do, but I consider myself like a sub. And when I see other subs getting it, I'm like, dude, come on. You have to sink so low that you're going to go after people's subs, or you disagree with someone in another area, so you're going to, drag them. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Huge snapping turtles in my yard. Oh. Wow. So, who wants to talk about the scandal? I mean, I usually don't do that shit, but who wants to talk about the scandal? Hey, Scoop, how you doing, honey? Oh, replay, of course you do. I mean, and I'm going to weigh in on some stuff, and it probably won't make me too popular. But what do I care? I'm not really popular anyway. I'm honest. I'm honest about it. I missed this particular. I know the bare minimum. Okay. So we all heard about the Tucker debacle. It's so many scandals, so little time, right? So if you heard about the Tucker stuff, the where Mama Knows Best and Boots and all that the other night. Hey, BB, good to see you. Put a one in chat. If you haven't heard anything about it, put a two in chat. Replay, of course. It was a shit show. So, yeah. I have questions. I have questions. I really have some questions, and I want to see if anybody else picked up on what I picked up on.
Soon I will be able to calm down and just sit down and relax instead of.
Oh, you were there? Okay. See, I wasn't. I mean, I watched, but I wasn't in that. You're welcome to come up if you want to replay. I would enjoy that. You need me to drop the link again? Replay. Go, girl. I will drop it just in case.
I wonder whose this was before I claimed it.
Danica's. Oh, you're already up here. Oh, welcome, girl.
Hello, pretty lady.
Hello, goddess. Oh,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Well, I was supposed to go live last night, but my mum had a fall on a piece on ice squint at dustbin, so
Oh,
she was in hospital all night. But it's all good.
mm.
So, yeah, she broke her arm though. A few nasty
Oh,
pieces, but at least she's home now.
oh, I am sorry to hear that, honey.
Oh, she's tough as old boots, that gal.
Well, she'd have to be. She's your mom.
Exactly.
Because I could imagine you as a teenager. Whew.
Um, I gave my mum run around. Trust.
I was the youngest out of eight. Okay, and I worked two jobs through high school, and supported my mom. So anytime I didn't do what she said, she would just give me this big long guilt trip. And one day she said, "I hope to God," 'cause she was always trying to curse us with the whole. She would try to curse us with this. I hope that you're one day you're going to have a daughter that is three times as bad as you. And she would do that to us, right? And I said, "Oh, really? I would be glad if I had a daughter three times as bad as me then that means she's going to hold down 6 jobs, support me, make sure my bills and my ass are taken care of.
uh,
Oh boy.
I'm black sheep of family. Me, I'm the naughty one. I
You
just
know, my lips are, my mom had this killer backhand, so my lips are still recovering from that.
well, I mean, I've got 3 kids. I've got a boy and 2 girls, and I swear to God, my youngest, she's 10, but it's like she's like 28 with math. She's
Oh
so
boy.
like me. She's oh God, she's unreal. I have to proper hold my breath sometimes and just walk out room. Oh, I
Oh,
could.
you know
Oh, I
what?
swear to God,
I
honestly.
get it. I get it. I've got 5, and 4 of them are girls, right? The oldest one was saucy as hell, and then, but she was an only child for like almost 5 years. So
Yeah.
then the second one, she's not. She's very respectful. Okay, my son, he could be a little sarcastic, but I'm his mother. What do you expect? My fourth one is just sweet as hell. She is the sweetest person you could ever meet on planet Earth. And my youngest, she's got oh gosh, she's like 71. She will tell me she will tell me when I'm stepping out of line, and she will tell me how to straighten my ass out.
Or our Abby, I mean, my oldest daughter, I mean, she's sound, she is. My son, oh my God, he keeps me on my toes and he don't even live with me. And he still keeps me on my toes. I'm always worried about him because he's like me with my
Right?
into and I can see it, and that's why me and our Jack clash because I see myself in him, but he
Mm.
always comes running back to mummy. Mum, can you do this? I'm always back up. Mum, go and sort it out. So I have to sort it out, as you do. You know what I mean? They leave them and they come back with more.
See, you know what? My son, the only son, he's one of those that are, I call him the loophole king because I'll say you can't. I would say when he was growing up, I'd say something like, you can't do, well, you didn't say I couldn't do it this way,
Yeah,
Or I'd say you're you need to come home after school, right? And
yeah.
he'd be like, but you didn't say straight home after school, you know? Oh,
They've always got an answer, haven't they?
yes.
Always. It's
I'm
like when
like,
I used to say to them, "You're grounded, right?" They just look at me, gone out like I wasn't even there because I knew I wouldn't. After about 5 minutes, because they'd be banging, and I'd go, "Piss off, out, go on, get out," because they knew I wouldn't stick to it.
right,
So, but we are Jack are getting more leeway because he's a lad. I ain't got really worry about him.
right.
But
See,
but with girls, obviously it was different. But
see,
our Alicia, she don't even go out. I won't let her outside. Do you know what I mean? There's
mhm.
there's too many wrong uns about.
My sister-in-law told me that, oh, I wouldn't want, she had 5 boys, right? And she's like, ha ha, you got stuck with all those girls. You have to worry about them getting pregnant and blah, 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 blah. And I go, yeah, but you know what? You got 5 boys, right? And she goes, yeah. And I go, you have to worry about them impregnating several girls in a 9 month period.
Exactly. Exactly. In it. Every time you get that knock on door, you think, "Oh my God, please no." You never know. But I would rather have boys than girls, to be honest. I won't swap our Abby. She's just right. But our Alicia, she is a nightmare. I would have 4 boys in us and just she's just crazy. But
Thanks, 71. Thanks for handling that. Thank you. Just be patient, Sophie. Blocker, whatever, honey. Anyway, what about this scamming shit? Are you picking up on the same shit I'm picking up on?
we're talking about Mama Knows Best,
I'm not
and
saying
I'm
okay.
saying it. I'll say it because I don't talk to them. I don't watch them. But
Mhm.
my God, I mean, we've been here when we've been here before. I mean, remember 2021 December? What happened that year with her?
I get that, and I respect that, but I also get that she's not as tech savvy as most people realize, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, I give her that benefit of the doubt if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Here's the thing that stuck with me. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, Boots set up Tucker's PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mama had
Yeah.
nothing to do with that.
Yeah. They had access, didn't they?
No, she didn't. Mama didn't.
They were Boots.
I'm not saying Boots did anything wrong. I'm just saying that how could Mama have anything to do with Tucker doing this stuff if, you know, she said she
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do with setting up the PayPal or being involved with that at all, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you was in Natasha's community, weren't you?
For like
But
6 months, yeah.
yeah. So can you remember Tucker being in there?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I was in from I want to say January, February of no February,
Yeah.
February of 2021
Yeah.
to roughly about a month into the Gabby Petito, so
Yeah.
September, August,
Yeah.
maybe. That's how long I was in there. And
Right.
Tucker, I think, came in as I was leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I don't remember her. I, I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm not
Yeah.
saying she wasn't on panel, but I don't remember Tucker being on panel.
See, I used to watch from. I've never been a member of an.
Mhm.
I've never been a sub. Do you know what I mean? I think I come across her over Gabby Petito, but she was only restreaming Wifeland anyway, so I went over there instead. It was just pathetic. Do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I saw Tucker in chat. I remember her being in the chat.
I do remember that. I'm going to say that, but I don't remember her. Like they said something about her being on panels all the time. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't recall that.
but
I'm
I
not.
didn't watch her every day. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't know. I wasn't a member. So,
I
but
mean, yeah. I
Voice
mean,
has come out. She came out with it yesterday, I think it was.
right.
That she was always on panel with her, with this Tucker person.
And I don't
Now,
see. I don't remember that. I do remember the people that were on panel during that time
yeah,
when she was on panel. See, because she left right after I left. Voices did. Okay.
yeah,
Um, I left silently, and I'm not dragging anybody for it. I'm just saying I left silently.
yeah,
Um, I wasn't the type to draw a lot of attention to myself anyway when I was in chat. If that
yeah,
I
yeah,
just, for the most part, I was involved in the true crime
yeah,
stuff. I did try to stay a lot out of the other stuff. Um, but I did watch it sometime, regularly.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Uh, I remember Voices being on panel all the time.
And
Scarlet,
Yeah, yeah. Scarlet, Siren, Christiane,
yes. Well, Christiane came in later because
but she,
Christiane ended on
yeah,
panel when I left. Uh,
yeah,
she was still in chat at that. She had just joined chat at that time. So it was Siren, Christy, not Christy. Case,
Case was always on, yeah,
Case was up there, and not always because she had, you know, her stuff. Hey, good
yeah.
to see you, Sagacious. Um, let's see.
Lynn was always on panel because she'd do the crime with her.
Lynn was up there a lot.
Yeah,
Scarlett. Like I said, Voices was up there until the bag of dicks thing. You
yeah,
know, I watched the night that went down.
yeah.
I was in chat when that went down. I'm not gonna lie. I was in chat the night that happened, and I was like, "What the f?" You know what I mean? I was
I
like,
know, yeah. It just went sideways. It went 0 to 100 straight away, didn't it?
"Yeah." And
Yeah.
what
Oh,
my thought process is this: when you're on somebody else's panel, that you are respectful to the creator.
exactly.
Any shit you pull on that panel reflects on that creator. I don't
Yeah,
care if it's Cooper, it's you, it's Jur, it's Sagacious. You are respectful on that panel, right?
yeah, of
Or
course.
you follow the lead, possibly, of what you can do, but try to be respectful to that's your host. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like don't come in my house with dog shit on your shoes and drag it across my carpet.
exactly. You wipe your feet coming in, not on way out. sort of thing.
Exactly. So it's like for me to see her talking like that, and she's going to get angry because I'm saying anything. Oh
Oh,
well.
she's irrelevant anyway, isn't she?
But I mean, my thought is like you're going to talk like that, and then you're going to be surprised that Coops said bye bye.
Yeah,
I mean, because to me, I know a lot of people have their opinions about Natasha, but as a host, that was disrespectful to her because you're bringing shit
yeah.
into her house, right?
I'm not going to lie, right? Yeah, I don't dislike her. I think what she said is some very disgusting and disturbing stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I, I tell you something, fair play to the woman, right? Yeah, because they're still gullible to keep getting money and she's getting away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she can be funny. I'm
Oh,
not going to lie. She
both
can be funny.
and voices can be funny, you know.
I used to like The
I know
Price is
she.
Wrong, and I did like that, and I used to love that.
That's what I'm saying. She has one hell of a sense of humor, and I hand it to her for that. But
But she's
but
got a vile mouth as well, and she just, do you know what I
you know,
mean? When she came out with the comments, I couldn't. I used to support voices. I liked
mhm,
voices.
I get it.
Everybody dropped away from her when she said that about Natasha's daughter and
Mm,
about Jess's son. That I was done. I left because I wanted to leave, not
mhm.
because nobody asked me to leave. I left myself. I left because of morals. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was disgusting what was said, and it was. So I can't support that behaviour. Do you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So no, it's not. That's not our role. No,
Mhm.
don't
I
do that.
I can't handle that either. But um, I don't like the whole thing she said about Jessica.
Yeah,
And everybody, since I don't agree with her on that, oh, you're a huge Granny's watching fan. No, I wouldn't like that happening to my family. I sure as hell don't approve of it happening to her. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And or anybody. How can you across the board say you have any freaking boundaries if you're willing for some people to bend it and others not to?
That's what I mean. It's selective. It's selective outrage over here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants. It's like it's one rule for one for another. If somebody sees it, say if we said something. In fact, I would never diss a child. Never.
Mm-hmm.
I would never go at a creator's child. Wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go and pull down a disabled person. That's not my style. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And at day, if I've got beef with somebody, I will speak to them myself. I won't bring other people into it. That's my personal beef between me and that person.
And
Do you know what I mean?
I'm pretty open with my opinions
Yeah.
or
If they
my
don't like it, then it's not my problem. I'll say what I've got to say, and they either like it or they don't. That's on them, not on me. Do
well,
you know what I mean?
as
But
I see it, you can take it as like constructive criticism. You can either take what I'm my viewpoint and work on yourself,
exactly.
or
It's not nasty what I've said in the past,
I
but
haven't
it's
really
like,
seen
I
anything
mean, I, right. It's like with Jamie
there.
from day one.
hmm
I never liked him, and there was just something about him. Right, it was just the way he acted. I don't. It's how he went from every single chat to chat to chat.
hmm
I'm on about before all the negativity and started
hmm
happening, and there was just something not right about him. So I went
Right.
on my own, not because I was in Jess's at the time.
hmm
I still am a part of her community, but I was a mod at the time, and I didn't like because I'm a mod. I thought I've got to agree with everything. No, I've said it from day one when he was in the chats. Don't like him. I've always been very vocal about it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I went out, looked him up myself, and found out the shit where he's been on way in different communities.
hmm
But that was for them to find out themselves. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously everybody fell out and all that. Don't agree with what he's done, and it's wrong, right?
hmm
It's like, but that's between everybody else, and everybody were going back to TNT. Everybody's fell out, everybody's said things what they shouldn't have said. Do you know what I mean? But he has gone a bit full steam. But the thing I didn't like is that was Robbie. I don't go into Robbie's either. Now,
hmm
Robbie made a false claim an allegation that I'd asked him, I'd emailed him, been into his chat and asked him, to come on my panel for me to interview him to get my
Mhm.
channel up. And well, I flipped out on that, and I said to Robbie, I sent him a video right yet, and tagged him in a video saying, "You show me proof where I've come and begged your ass, like I'd interviewed Robbie on a true
Mhm.
crime." It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, Doc. Never has, and he's never gave me proof. Because there ain't no proof. I've never said it. Don't
I
like him. But the
I'm
only
gonna say my
time I
opinion
ever
on that real quick.
well,
That makes me laugh in a way. It's like, you're not a celebrity, dude.
exactly.
That's just what I got out of that. Like,
Into but it's like with the comments, the Sally Ann situation and Laurie situation, right? Yeah, I've never been a right. My heart goes out to all people who are victims. I'm not men and women because there is male victims too,
mhm,
right? But what happened that day, what he said in Robbie's chat when he
mhm,
said it on the panel and said it about Lorraine and he said it about Sally Ann,
mhm,
right? That were my boundaries crossed then. Do you know what I mean? I went in and I said what I had to say. I called him a disgusting piece of shit. He had no right to do that. And what he was, it was disgusting because I'm a woman and I stand up for women, and that was wrong. Do you know what I mean? And
mhm,
I don't like him. I just don't like him, and I can't believe that it's all in the past now. And it shocks me the people in this chat who I've known for years, and I have arguments with this offline. Do you know what I mean? That's why we adults and we disagree on things, but that's up
mhm.
to them. If they want to support him, that's on them. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? But exactly. But I would never support shit like that. Never.
See, you're discussing like when he first came in, and then, he was in Granny's chat and stuff. I mean, this is what I observed. Okay. I
Yeah,
observed a change in Jess. And I don't mean she went from being outspoken in herself, you know what I mean?
yeah,
To like she had to kowtow. Like she had to bend at his will. I felt
yeah.
that. I felt that as a sub that he elicited that out of her. Like to me, it triggered something in my mind that was like a controlling relationship.
It's like what's it? I mean, she had Kim as well though as a Ed Mod, didn't she? I
Yeah.
mean, I do think Kim was always in the chat, obviously, because she was a mod, but she was putting her beef in the chat. Do you know what I mean? And causing issues that way as well.
Hey,
Do you know what I
Jill.
mean?
Good to
Until
see you,
everybody,
Beth.
until they fell out. Everybody fell out. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
And I mean, I started like pulling back, and I loved just I loved going there because I went there from day one when she did lives,
yeah,
and I enjoyed it. And then the atmosphere, just it was like a rain cloud when he came in,
yeah,
and it's like he dampened everything. He piddled on our freaking damn picnic for God's
yeah.
sake.
It was something about him. He's just a slimy. He's just. It just, oh, honestly, it makes my skin crawl. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like the man. There's just something about him.
Yeah, and
It just, it's disturbing. It's a disturbing person.
I didn't like how he talked down to her either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like I was so happy when he was gone and I started
Well,
coming back. And it's not because I didn't like the other chatters or
the
him. I
vibe
just
wasn't
did
right, was it? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't right, but
exactly. I'm
yeah,
highly intuitive. I didn't feel right being there. Okay.
yeah,
Um, because I felt like this dude is not quite right. Okay.
yeah,
And I kept my mouth shut. I didn't say my opinion about the dude, nothing. Right. He, but he does his little slimy shit and he does it. And I've seen it. And he's pulled shit on me. I don't care. That's in the past. Fuck what he says, right?
yeah,
But the night that I went, like, I started pulling away from, like, I was friends with Mama. I'll admit it. I was
yeah,
friends with Mama Knows Best. I was friends with her. I was her mod. I tried leaving when he came in. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's people that I'm friends with out here, like Welsh and them. They'd see him come into a chat, it's bye, I'm out of here, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was a mod. And then all hell would break loose. And then all this shit would be said about other creators, like, um, like, Granny and
Yeah.
shit. And then Voices being up on her panel speaking that freaking garbage, right?
Yeah.
Beef with fucking someone, take it up with them. Don't go on everybody else's panel. And I'm not gonna
Exactly.
lie, did I talk behind the scenes about that? I sure as hell did. I'm gonna tell you right now, I fucking told mama that her talking that shit on her panel made her look bad.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to keep neutral." I said, "Yeah, but you need to get it. You need to take control of your chat and you need to take control of your moderators because if I'm the only one doing something, it's not doing me any good, right?"
Well, if you notice that when he came in into other chats and other panels and things, he'd take over the conversation, he'd take over the panel, and
Mhm.
he'd ask for I'd call him Renshaw because he'd
Yep.
have a wrench in everyone because he'd block people he just didn't like. If
Yeah.
anybody said anything negative, I'm surprised I didn't get. But I mean, I've been with Jess since day one, and
Mhm.
I, do you know what I mean? I've always been. If I didn't like something, I've said it. She knows. I've always said things in chat. Do you know what I mean? Whether people like it or not. Do you know what I
Fucking
mean? Me and
great
Jess have
point.
fell out a couple of times, and we
Yep.
have.
She
But
and
we've
maybe
left it,
got blamed for
and
the
we're
hot
all right.
mic. Yep. She got blamed
Exactly.
for the hot mic. She got blamed for a lot of shit. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. That reeked of a setup. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who knows it. It all reeked of a setup.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody with freaking eyeballs could see that. But or ears, huh?
Yeah.
It's like when you've seen enough of this shit over the last several years, you know when shit's going down, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this latest shit, it smells bad too. You know what I mean?
It's something. I mean, something's off about it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I used to go to. I was in Dorothy's when Natasha did the Christmas list, and I used to go to Dots, and I did. I used to like it in there. Jura were in there. She was a mod
Mhm.
there. Do you know what I mean? And then she came in and she filled this form in with Natasha. Natasha said she wasn't going to help her out or whatever. I don't know the first bit, but then I think it was Alicia what offered to do this wish list thing. And then I was in that chat at the time, right, when somebody asked for the Cash App or PayPal,
Mhm.
and they did give her the money, right?
Mm.
And what pissed me off, I've got nothing against Mama Knows Best, but what
Mhm.
got me mad about it is when she came into Jess's and said nobody had helped her, right? And and I says, you've had cash donations. And she had, because people who I knew outside YouTube had sent her money and I'd sent receipts. So I knew they weren't lying. And and I called her a liar then. And then and then we had a bit of a fallout.
I'm
But well,
saying, Jess, I'm saying it smells of a setup like as far as there's more layers to it than we
yeah,
know.
yeah,
That's what I mean. I mean, like we already said that she's not good with technology. She's
no.
not. Mama isn't good with technology. Um, I'll I'll be the first to say that. Boots is the one that set up the uh, PayPal for Tucker,
But
right?
wasn't Tucker?
And
Wasn't Tucker the one
and
what
this is
was doing the 20 grand thing, trying to get the money back from people for people?
exactly, Jess,
Yeah, she was.
exactly.
Oh,
Because
Jessie.
just I'm telling you, check this out. That was one of the things I took note of, right? Is Voices stated she was the original person to, you know, be the go-between between Tucker, Mama, and Boots, right? She was palsy with Tucker forever. Tucker was like her go-to mod besides Wyoming. Am I correct?
Yeah, Wyoming Ventures. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. They were the go-betweens. That's what I mean. And she said that, oh, I feel guilty because I was the go-between. Well, that does I mean, if she was the go-between between Tucker and them, they got the like, you know, I'm not saying something's not fishy with it, I'm saying that there's more to it and there's more
Yeah.
involvement. And she was so sure, and this is the other thing that made me go, mm-hmm, is when Voices tried pushing Broken Justice under the freaking bus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she's friends with Mama, so she knows more. Yeah, you're welcome to come up.
But Voices was friends with Mama, and she was always on her panel, always before before the channel went down her original channel.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Beats
there
Mama
was
brought
some
the
stuff
receipts,
that
didn't she?
happened.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that happened
Yeah.
where they kind of fell out a little bit. And I might, dude, trust me, she wanted me unmatted so bad
I can
because I
imagine.
was honest and said at a couple different places that Voices gets up and she takes over a panel and she's rude and that she overtalks the host all the time and she's just disrespectful. Is that a lie?
No, she's a disgusting person. I mean, it's like other day when she said that comment about. Do you remember when everybody fell out and she said, well, when she said the comments about Jessica's son and Jessica,
That
and then she said about
yeah.
Natasha's daughter,
Mhm.
that was disgusting. And I mean,
Exactly.
and then she went on to what's her name? Queen Bee, is it? And she said, I mean, she did it other day. She came up on Jess's panel and said it again, and then went straight over to Queen Beans and said, "I was just repeating what Natasha said." No, 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 no. She didn't repeat what Natasha said to you. She
Mhm.
said it. Do you know what I mean? Natasha never said that. I mean, Natasha said some nasty things about Jess, and she has, right? But I've
Mhm.
never recorded her saying that. Never. It's come out her mouth because she's a vile person. She said it and then tries to deflect the blame.
Bingo, Jess. She did. How many times has she told Broken Justice to shut the f up? And you could tell there's like Broken. I know she used to sit there and she used to think the world of Voices supposedly, right? I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I'm just saying she talked her up a lot. And then she kept telling Broken to shut up. And no matter what, Broken would be like, oh, we're pals, you know? But that's the other thing. It's like with all this other scam and stuff, she's throwing Broken under the bus. And I'm not sticking up for Broken, okay? But it does, she doesn't have any vested interest in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
She didn't have anything to do with this money. She didn't donate. And that was the big thing with Voices. Oh, she didn't donate to this. So she knew she was in on the scam.
Well,
But Voices
did
also said,
Voices? Did she
exactly.
donate? Exactly. So what's it's her business? But she
Hmm.
makes it her business because she thinks she's all that. I mean, she sits there slagging everybody else. She jumps
Sorry,
from
Jess.
panel to panel, and then when she falls out with that creator because they call her out on the scamming ass and the nasty vileness, then she's
Right?
back to the next one. Like she's back up Crafton and Kim's arse again. Do you know what I mean? Saying, "Oh, I went on to Jess's just to set her up because I knew she'd fall for it." Bullshit. She
She's
went,
not as
But
freaking
and then
brilliant as she
she
thinks she
ain't. I
is.
know.
well, you
Jess
know
ain't
why that
her
was
ass. You know what
stupid?
I mean?
They act
Oh,
like
well,
they
Jess.
set they act like they set me up with that, but here's the thing. They knew
Yeah.
we were in their Discord. They knew we were
What?
in there because we commented. Angela posted the link and we all went in and Crafton acknowledged me. Kim froze and then hid the live. So for her to act like Voices went up there to get me to admit I was in a Patreon, they knew I was in the Patreon. Voices got caught in another lie. They always have like this like I had gotcha moment. Like when I
Mm,
debunked Voices that I was arrested over summer. Oh, she fell for it. What was the fucking plan? To show everybody you're a liar? What did I fall for? So they always like try to play things off. But here's a post I wrote and I didn't post it yet. Tell me what you guys think. This is what I came up for really quick. Listen, with like people need to stop going with their dislike of somebody and open their eyes because these people are all bonded together in a common hate of me. Meanwhile, they don't even realize the snakes they're sitting with. The fact that they ran so quickly to throw Mama Knows Best under the bus, it's just so telling because during that live, they kept saying, Granny's going to go live with this. Granny. And the whole chat was like, anybody goes live about this, you're a piece of shit. You're this, you're that. Look who went live about it first. Kim, Voices, Lycan. Where are those chatters? In those chats, trashing MKB with them. That is how quickly
exactly.
they all turned on
Mm,
her. That quickly.
yeah. I mean, night before, I mean, she had an announcement. it was at the same night when she's supposed to have
Yeah,
had some accident, and she'd like they kept pressuring her, tried to take over, and he was on panel. He was asking what was going on, and he had that 8 hour live, didn't he, last
yeah.
night?
He
And
he
he
did a
was
whole
showing
live
all
calling
these
her out.
yeah, and showing all these screenshots where the was it the 7 what had been changed on one of the dates.
Oh yeah, that was definitely changed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean there
but
It
was
looked
Mama
definitely
knows
like a
best
shady
wouldn't she
things.
wouldn't know how to do that. Do
that
you
looked
know what I
like a
mean?
7.
Yes, it
Well, I'll
did.
tell you what, I know without a doubt that somebody else has been paying MKB's electricity for the past 3 months. I had the receipts, I had the proof. So whatever money she's claiming she gave was not her money. She's been lying. But I'll be coming out with all that. But this is what, when it comes down to voices, listen to this. She's trying to say that Tucker originated with NC. She did not. I was always part of Natasha's from Facebook to YouTube. Tucker was never on that panel. Here's a
See,
post I didn't post yet. Sorry, go ahead, Ginger.
exactly. That's what I was saying. I don't remember Tucker being on that panel, and I was
Nope.
there until like August, or yeah, until the Gabby Petito case.
Well,
Then I
Voices
left.
said that Tucker left with her. First off, Voices was booted. She didn't leave.
Hmm.
She was kicked out. So,
Hmm.
and Tucker was never, not that I'm aware of, I have no idea. So, who is Tucker, right? If we think about it, who is Tucker? But
She wasn't
listen
in
to
the
this
chat.
post I made and tell me what you guys think of this.
Go ahead.
I didn't write it yet, but I mean, I wrote it, I didn't post it. I said, use your logic, let this sink in. We all thought Douche Canoe was an imaginary person, right? You guys remember that?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Tonight, Voices comes out and admits that Douche Canoe was Tucker. So Tucker was real. I mean, Douche Canoe was real. Tucker was Douche Canoe that was texting Natasha. Voices knew this, but how often do Voices bring up that Douche Canoe's fake,
yeah.
right? Then you have Tucker was introduced by Voices. She was close enough and trusted Voices enough to tell her she's Douche Canoe. Tucker also had Voices, MKB, and a few others in private convo about taking NC down, not just on YouTube, but in real life, and private communication making plans on having Natasha arrested. That's a big thing that's being overlooked. Those women were planning behind the scenes to have Natasha arrested. Now, people have their feelings on her, whatever, but they're always screaming at people go real life. That's going real life. And they
Yeah,
believe
of
Tucker
course.
was an ex police officer, but okay. But that's like here or there. Who was involved in connecting each person to make those plans? Voices. How are we here now? It turns out Tucker scanned Boots and Mama for a good chunk of money. Boots Mama for a good chunk of money. Boots life savings apparently. And when Boots came clean, MKA said she was ripped off, blah blah blah. But waited till midnight to tell everybody, although her electricity was going to go off, whatever logic. But who was involved with that? Voices. Why? Who is Tucker, and why is Voices always the middleman for this person? Then you
So the
take
only
in,
thing,
So
yeah. Sorry.
right? I mean,
So
and then
I'm
you got
thinking it's one
Voices
of her
went up on,
mods, then, isn't it?
I would say they're more than a mod. Voices knows who this person truly is. Is
Yeah.
Tucker even a real person? Does anybody know? Do we really know?
here's the thing. She has been on panel on Mama Knows Best when I was a mod, but her voice was eerily similar in tone to Voices. I'm not saying it's the same person. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, and that was, it's weird. And then if you think of, and I mean this as respectfully as I can say it, but Boo's mama is a very naive person. She's a sweetheart. She means well. She's easy to be taken advantage of. I think she was preyed upon here. I
Hmm.
also
Yeah.
think that they're taking advantage of the fact that Mama Knows Best isn't the most aware
Clued
person.
up,
Functional.
wired up.
They're predators, is what I'm getting at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
They picked their prey. They knew what they were doing. Now they're going back to it's Mama Knows Best's fault that Voices turned on her microphone, and and now they're bringing up the Christmas thing, the same thing they kept saying. Why does Granny keep bringing it up? Like all of a sudden, all these old things are being thrown at Mama Knows Best. What I don't understand is why don't the people understand they will do the same to them? Wait until they fall out with and wait until they fall. The same thing they did to
Hmm.
me. I went from being a great friend. I had cancer. I was a great mother to I was a
I get
shit friend. I faked cancer and I'm a horrible mom and CPS needs to be contacted. This is how cutthroat these people turn. I mean,
Hmm.
overnight. And then you even got people throwing Broken under too. Like TCA's like Broken said that Mama Knows Best isn't hurting for money. She has a huge house and a nice art and craft room and blah, blah, blah. And it's like none of these people even trust each other. It's just It's so gross, but why is Voices always the main man? And who is Voices and Kim to call out any scamming? They're both scammers.
I was going to say that while she's doing this, while she's tossing, Broken under the bus, Mama Knows Best under the bus, I'm sitting there going, let's go back to Ryan Upchurch.
Yeah, the
Hello.
$2,000. Yeah,
Yep.
was it 2000?
And she said with Ryan Upchurch that she gave Mama Knows Best 10%, which she did, but she did that to make her accomplice. She
Mhm.
also said that she fixed her truck, got a new TV, and bought weed. But then over on another panel, she told them all that all her money went to flyers for the missing.
Yeah,
Bullshit. But
it
I mean,
went on her, innit? She didn't
But
do
that
nothing
goes
more.
back to her same thing last year, or well, in 2021, when it was all Brittany Preston's fault for
yep,
her losing her
advocacy.
yeah, her losing her uh advocacy, and then or her nonprofit. Then it became Natasha's fault. Then
But
went
before that
back.
was Critical K.
Yes, exactly. But what people don't
Yep,
realize is she goes clear back because she was in Jays for Justice,
yep.
and then she turned on her, and I was actually in uh Brittany's channel at the time. And the first night she came in there giving her story about how she was a mod and how Jays for Justice is a bad person and
Mm-hmm.
she was going to expose her. Well, that's because Critical K didn't give her the time of day at the time. But as
Right.
soon as she was on uh, MFC or whatever, then, or Mysterious Case File, sorry, then all of a sudden the next night she was over in Critical K's given the same story to get attention, and then boom, she comes back and she's got a wrench. You know what I mean?
And I'll do one better for you. Guess who else was involved with MCF?
Oh, well, I know Kim and Crafton
Kim
were.
and Crafton. They're the ones that MCF was paying them to be their channel manager, and they
Mm-hmm.
screwed her over, and that's why she lost that channel.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it always these three, okay, are involved in all
Yes.
these type of gross things? And when are people going to realize that?
See, and they all came in there around the same time.
Right.
I mean, I know. I
And
mean,
they
because I
also
was
went over to Natasha's around the same time too. Voices,
exactly.
Kim, Crafton, they were all up on the panel. I mean, the funniest thing is I knew there was red flags with what was going on the other night. And I'm not going to lie. Part of the reason I didn't go live is because they said I would, but also
Yep.
because it's not my business, right? I'm not one of those people that have to use other people's content as business. Those people over there, they do that, whatever. I know there's some smart people over there, and I knew somebody was going to pick up on it. What cracks me up is those who are the loudest about it. You know
Mm-hmm.
why? Because money's involved. Kim's like,
Uh-huh.
I counted up all of her donations, and Voices is like, she got well, did anybody tell her, hey, MKB, you can only receive this amount? I
Yeah.
mean, was there stipulations
No, I
towards it? Like, I
didn't.
don't understand it. But that's the problem. A lot of people get mad about money. They honestly do. What was
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things Kim and Cranston said about me? Oh, she's making
Money.
6,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's money, and money will have anybody turn into a raging lunatic against you. And honestly, I can't stand that Mama Knows Best after everything she's done to me. I can't
Mm-hmm.
stand Broken Justice, but I'm not gonna lie
Mm-hmm.
and say I'm a little empathetic towards them right now.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, it's like
skeptical.
when you and Kim fell out, and you fell out, and I mean, I was a member of her channel, and you never told anybody to leave
Mm-hmm.
that because of you. Do you know what I mean? We
Yep.
left because we wanted to leave, and then she was throwing it at you, saying, "I've lost all my members because Jess has left. She's made it's a cult mentality over there. We've got to do what Jess says." Blah blah blah. No, we left because we wanted to leave. You never
Well,
Yep.
and
once
here's the
told
thing.
anybody. Mm.
It aggravates me because I do get how people perceive it that way. There's even times where I'm
Yeah,
like, is it that like I don't like that people think of me that way. And I know people do. I know they do. I also know I get tied in for what other people I'm close to do, even if I disagree with them, right? But it's
Right.
yeah,
one of those things. It's like you can't, but what people need to understand is when the reason there's like a mass exit is not just because the fault, it's not because these people like personally did something to me. It's usually because you insulted enough subs. Kim and Crafton insulted enough subs. what happened with the other person recently. Enough subs were insulted. It's not like I'm out here
Yeah,
being like for instance, replay. You go places I would never go. Angela goes places I would never go. Some people are supporting people I would never support. And if I had that much power, don't you think that wouldn't be happening? You know what I mean? I just hate that
exactly.
it's such a misconception about me. But whatever. What are you going to do? It's the way
No,
people
but
are.
you've never said, right, you my mod, you my member. If I see you in certain charts, you're out. You've never done that. You've
No,
always
the
said
only
you
time
do
I've
what you
ever
want
done
to
that
do.
was with Lycan. If I
Yeah.
saw you in Lycans at that given time with what was happening, you were out.
Well, I never liked him from day one, Jess. You know that.
Oh, I know. I know. Many people didn't. Hell, I didn't. I was just too far in. Oh, it sucked.
See,
But
and
yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. When I pulled out, and they got pissed at me for pulling out, and I went up on that panel. They were dragging the shit out of me, and
yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm here to face. I'm here to face it. I'm not afraid of it, right? And then, oh, of course, they got freaking Lycan in the back as soon as I went on panel, right?
They always do that. Yeah, I
And
know
then it was,
that.
let's let Lycan just tear me apart. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm not, nah, nah. And I'm sorry, but it was Kool-Aid. I'm telling you. Oh, but he's
Well,
so kind. I have never heard him speak respectfully to a woman
never.
ever,
And here's the
right?
thing, right? When have you guys ever saw me do that? When have you ever, unless it was like a real serious situation where like I'm being extremely lied against and it's affecting my reputation, which only happened like twice, where have you ever heard me call out a subscriber and say, "What the fuck are you doing over there? Explain yourself now." When have you ever seen me put a subscriber's name in my title? When have you ever seen me bring a subscriber up on board and have people attack them? I've never done it. But they all do, but yet they all put that on me. And it's like, show me where have I ever done that? And if I have, I've forgotten, and I wouldn't mind somebody telling me. But I don't recall
No.
ever doing that.
well,
Besides,
the
like
only
I said,
people
once or
I've seen you
twice.
go at is obviously the issue between you and Luther, and
Yeah.
then you and Without Borders, but she'd already left.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
But do you know what I mean? That's the only time I've ever known you. Actually, that's it.
Right. And they're the situations where they were like serious things. Like what I was going
Yeah,
through with Lufa was serious. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, that's the only time. But there's like plenty of people that have left and I've emailed to be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And then I realized they left and I'm like, "Oh shit, all right, good luck." But I've
Right.
never, what my point being, these people always point and say like they do this or Granny does that, or,
Mhm.
but it's really things they do. Like what was done to you, Ginger, just wasn't fair. And what kind of friends would even put you in that situation? Like, were you supposed to be like at that point? Oh, you're right. I'll only stay at your channel. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's what Lycan had it out for me for months before that. So,
Hmm.
I mean, so
Because
that's
you're a
the thing.
Granny
He
supporter.
would say passive aggressive shit, and I'd like, and he said, I went into Auntie's, and he said something about that was pretty degrading towards women, and how he had a wrench, and he was her channel manager, and he could control this and that. And I said, good luck with that, sweetheart. My husband's been trying to control me for 30 years. It ain't happened yet, right? Because that's who I am, right? And yeah. That's my old man. But I was like, he can't control me. How the hell is some stranger on the internet gonna do it, right? Um, but he didn't. He asked me on that panel why I didn't like him, and he would tell everybody, "Oh, she's a granny simp," and I'm
Yep.
like, when have you ever seen me simp for
Right,
anyone,
you're a
really?
Granny. That's what he says about everybody because he does that so his community will immediately turn on you. That's it.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, dude, I'm
So
everywhere.
gross.
I'm everywhere. I said, I'm a free range sub. I said, have I been with her since day one? Yeah. But you know what? I'm with a lot of people. So
Well, I need
yeah,
to work on my cult skills because you've been with me since day one and you still wander. So I'm not doing my cult skills very well.
I
I'm a
know.
very bad
You need
cult
to get that
leader.
witchcraft going,
you
Doc.
suck.
Right.
You're gonna have
Well,
to
and you
send
know,
me to Jim Jones school.
and it amazes me that people say control people because, with all due respect, replay, you're supporting CJ, Megan's supporting CJ. Like, there's people. So, how am I controlling you guys if you're people that I like been with for a long time and you're still supporting people I've had a falling out with? need to get better control, I guess, because I'm not doing well. Like, it's
You
so
need to crack that
stupid.
whip. Crack it.
Right?
Yeah, right. I just got to get the whip out. But that,
Right?
that's the thing with, like, every now and then his little insecurities come out and he's like, I just don't know why people don't like me. Like, oh, you can't figure it out. It's not because of
Yeah,
Granny, because remind yourselves, Kim hated like him while I was cool with him.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. She
A
made
lot
that
of people
channel
did.
up. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? And I
Right.
can't believe.
It's convenience.
I
It's
know. And then
convenience is
you
over
deny it.
hate bonding. It
And
would
the
be like
shit
if
she
I
says
ran
in that
it.
chat, do you know what I mean? It's disgusting. And what she
Yep.
says towards you. And he sits there and denies about I'm not on YouTube. Yes, he is. He's in every single chat, 24/7, degrading you. Do you know what I mean? I
Always.
see it myself. And he always goes, and every time he goes on the panel, sorry, he always brings it round to you. For what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yep.
know what I mean? So
Well,
if the obsession is real with that man,
it's very real, and it's sick that people can't see. And like Tiff or not, and I'm conflicted on it too. Part of me just feels so bad because I know what she's going through, and then the other part is like, you're a piece of shit too. So it's almost like, is this your karma? So a hard position to be in. And also, I know it aggravates him that I am being supportive of her
yeah,
because he wants to isolate her, and I know that's how like abusive narcissists work. So I really conflict with myself often. Like I haven't even gone
exactly.
live because it's such a confliction.
All he's said for a year now is Jess has been getting out my pictures. Do you know what I mean? Blah blah blah. Oh, I
I,
remember it with Kim who did
I
that, and
here's
Kristen who got one. But then he's putting porn out on his own channel
And
of
nobody says
Tiffany.
anything.
Exactly. Do you know? That's what
Nobody
I'm
says a
saying.
word, and he's blatantly saying this is going to be named the revenge Tiff's revenge porn channel, and blackmailing her that if she
Yeah,
doesn't do what he says, and every single person over there is making excuses for it. Every single person is okay with it, and it is disgusting. But that is what happens because there's times I have to tell myself and even people around me, like, listen, you are overly involved. You are so emotionally into this right now. You need a break because you got to step back or you will end up like that to the point where you are blind supporting, you don't
yeah,
know the truth, and you don't care the truth. And what is happening with him and what is going on is so beyond sick, but it's even gross. And this is why I call out certain people when I do, because I knew them. And it
mm-hmm.
blows my mind that these women that I thought I knew that at one point pinpointed him for what he is are the same
exactly.
women that are in his chat condoning his current behaviors.
And
I can't grasp my mind around it.
I've
Mm-hmm.
lost friends. Do you know what I mean? I've lost friends through it because
Yeah,
I've been
somebody
friends
else
with
just lost
some of
friends
your
because of
mods.
it too.
You know, your original mods. I'm not saying names, but I was friends with them offline as well. We had a close
Yep.
friendship for years. And I saw her over there and I couldn't, and I texted her. We spoke on the phone. I says, what the hell are you doing over there? Do you know what I mean? I says, after everything you've said, after
Yep.
everything you've done, and you're blindingly supporting it. And she goes, well, I'm allowed to go. I says, you know what? Do what you got to do, I says, but me and you can't be friends anymore. I don't roll that way. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I fell out with you, Jess, I would never go over there.
Well, that's
Even
what
if
blows
I
my
saw you, I wouldn't
mind.
do it.
Because
I
it's
just
like
wouldn't.
some of
It's
them
sick.
will openly say, "Oh, I'm there to make Granny mad," and it's like it doesn't make me mad. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that you would wager your morals that much because of your
Exactly.
hate. And why they even hate me that much, I'll never fully understand either. But it's like that much that you're willing to like blindly support all of this, and the same person, somebody else had a falling out with the same person over it because it's like,
Yeah.
how can you? You know that they know better. You know they see better, and it's not a matter of like I can go where I want. Yeah, of course you can,
Yeah.
but where's your integrity while doing it? Like, would it
Especially
be?
when they're a woman and you've got children as well. That's what I'm saying.
But you know what it is, replay. If
Yeah.
anybody dare spoke up and said, like, hey, this is going too far, they would be attacked. They would be shunned. They know it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like I noticed Angela's post yesterday about Lindsay, and Lindsay like calling out, "Where have I ever used a deceased?" Hold on a minute, you were doing it to TT for a year, and well,
Right?
how
And then
long?
that
I
other
couldn't
woman's
believe it.
son. Hmm.
Yeah, I
It's
couldn't
just,
believe it.
and I know a lot of things get like forgotten as YouTube subscribers have to take in a lot on the daily. There's times where like I've forgotten what somebody has done to me. And when I remember, I'm like, oh shit, I would never fuck with them again. But I was because I forgot what they had
Yeah,
done. So it's one of those things where like people forget. But when it's something like that is right in your face, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like we're posting pictures of a woman S and a D because she made a
exactly.
fucking comment and you're condoning that. Like
Mhm.
how I don't hate me as much as you want. I don't care. Hate Tiff. Look how quick they turned on her. Look how quick
Mhm.
they turned on Mama Knows Best. And they'll do it to all of them and they know it. So they either get in line and they blindly support or they're next to be called out. And I hope that there's one thing Mama Knows Best and Broken Justice has learned it through this is to not be like them. Like that, because what they're going through right now is what those two have put me through, simply to fit in. I never
Mhm.
Yeah.
personally did a thing to either of them. Mama Knows Best came in my chat last Christmas and lied. She had
Yeah.
Dorothy on my back. She's the reason Dorothy came for me. Even after that, I let Mama Knows Best get and I let it slide. She was back in my chat. Everything was fine.
Right.
To fit in over there, you have to hate me. And those people, if you have you seen their chat rooms? The
Oh
stuff
God.
about
No,
my
I don't. I mean,
vagina.
I don't do Discord.
That
After I
pisses
left
me off.
Yawn, I mean, I was only ever in Yawn, and I come out of there. Do you know what I mean? And then I've never been back since. I've never been on any. I wouldn't. I'm not even getting involved with all that bullshit anymore.
It's despicable.
You
And
know what
now
is
that
And
I
you
find
get too
really bad?
involved with your arguments, and no, no.
I found that whole stupid live that Andrea's mom did about HPV retarded. I'm sorry,
did
I
she
used
do
the
one
word.
about HPV? I didn't even know she did that. Did you
She
hear
did a
tonight? They're pointing out that they're ban invading, that Andrea mom and Mama Knows Best are banned. Now they're ban invaders.
oh, she amazing.
Well, so is
But
Lindsay.
here's the thing with that.
So
She
is
So is
did a
Kim.
whole
Kristen.
lot she did a whole
Exactly.
live on that, and here's the thing. There's over 100 strains of it,
Yeah,
and only
Yeah.
2 of those strains cause the warts, right?
right. And
And
guess how
and
many percent have those two strains?
it's a very low percentage because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've had cervical cancer. I know exactly what you're talking about. I went
Right.
through it in
And
2020, and all I had to do was I was on stage 1. They went in and they did, God, it's like a cone biopsy
the cone
is what it
biopsy,
is,
they cut
where
it
they
out.
burn it, a lead
Yes.
procedure, and they burn it off. Then they check those cells to see if they got it all through the oncologist. The oncologist will call back and say whether you still have to go through more. I got
I
my
mean, it's
call.
really that simple. I don't know why they can't comprehend it. What I went through is what I went through. There's no like, making it up or it's
Mhm.
exactly what it is. They burned it off. They set them in. Four of
Mhm.
them were scraped off. One came back stage one. And all I had to do is my 6-month follow ups. That's it. I mean,
Exactly.
but the gross part is these people wanted me to be like stage 4 dying. That's what they wanted. And that's where it's despicable. As for the HPV, as a
Mhm.
woman, as a mother, she should focus more on how she can pay her rent than having
Uh-huh.
topics about HPV when she's clearly uneducated about it because how fucking stupid and gross do you have to be? And I pray to God, these
Uh-huh.
idiots, when the doctor comes and says, hey, do you want to give your child the Gardasil or whatever that
Mhm.
shot is against it? These idiots aren't like, oh, yeah, because we don't want her getting vaginal worse like Granny's watching. The doctor's going to look at them like they're fucking nuts.
Exactly. And it's like 80% carry HPV,
Yeah.
one strain or another. So these people bitching about it probably have a strain of HPV. You know?
80% of men, 90% of women, and
Mhm.
most don't even know they have it.
Exactly, because your body usually eliminates it.
See, I'm
But
lucky. I've never had. I'm lucky. I haven't. My mum's had it, and my mum had to have a hysterectomy. And my sister is younger than me.
mhm.
She's had one child, and after that, she got cervical cancer, and she had to have the laser 3 times. And then it came back again, and that's when she had to have the whole hysterectomy. I
Yeah.
See?
mean, and she's only 30. You know what I mean? So she was devastated because obviously our Zane's
Did
only
she have
4.
did
But
she
to
have
have
vaginal worse replay?
No, no.
No, right. Like these women have never even seen my vagina. Don't you
mhm.
think if I had vaginal worse, it would have been on my medical papers they all
I
passed
think
around?
normally when people get vaginal warts, that's an
Mhm.
STD, not the cancer. It's when
Right.
they're sleeping about. That's what I
Nonetheless, if
always
I
thought.
had it where the paperwork
Yeah,
said vaginitis that they all found to be hysterical, which is just swollen of the vagina,
yeah,
you
Yeah,
wouldn't have said right
that's
there on
all
that
it needs.
paperwork, it would have said vaginal worse if I had vaginal worse. I mean,
yes.
they're they just look, but the fact is that Mama Knows Best and Broken Justice would highlight and laugh at these comments about my vagina. I mean, 45 and a 6-year-old woman highlighting comments about a 33-year-old woman's vagina on a fucking Saturday night on YouTube. What has this world become? And that was
And
like normalized. So
see,
now
and
that
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I didn't agree with that kind of shit and left. And yeah, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad friend. Fuck that. No, it
no,
goes against my morals. It goes against my integrity. I'm fucking leaving.
where's
You
their
know?
good friends at? Because their good friends were the friends like you that would have said, "Yo, this is wrong. This reflects on you. This is horrible." No, their
Hmm.
good friends are currently live for their 10th hour, calling them scammers and pieces of shit, and they're
Hmm.
being evaded, and they're the reason for this, and they're the reason for that. So yeah, those good friends worked out really well for them.
Exactly. But it's like you said, here's the other thing. It's like they think everybody's stupid out here. And that's what I studied in college, biological studies. I was in microbiology, I was in nursing classes. I know this shit, you know? I'm not
Well,
stupid.
you know what's aggravating? I think the hardest part for me is the minute these people have a falling out with me,
Mhm.
that's their go-to.
Yeah.
It's their
Let's
go-to. Granny fakes cancer. Granny has vaginal warts. I mean, it's like I don't.
immature.
It
It's some
is. It's
similar
immature and
shit.
it's gross, and it's because they have nothing else on me. Because if I was somebody like them, there would be plenty to say on me. You could
Yeah.
go with the fact that I go real life, or I make racial jokes, or I make pedophilic jokes, or things like. But I don't do any of those things. So what do they go for? My recovery, my children, my
Uh-huh.
cancer. It is the
Mhm.
three things these people have against me because I've never given them another reason. What are they like? What are you educating the masses on about Granny? They often say I'm a liar. Name how, name when, name what. They can't do that. So instead they go to, oh, she lied about cancer. Did I? Do you know that I did? Can you prove
Mhm.
that I did?
I mean, like you're saying that you've got all these charges, you're on probation, you've got all these funds going. No, you don't. Do
No.
you know what I mean? What's it? And that what Kim said. Oh, sorry, not Kim. I apologize. What's it? Voices said other day that were bullshit.
Well, I'm
Do you know
not
what I
on
mean?
probation. I'm not
Exactly.
currently on probation. I
And
do
you,
have
you
two
didn't get
charges for
arrested.
retail thefts.
Exactly.
Years
From
ago,
years ago. Yeah.
I've been
You've
clean
been
for four
clean.
years. Um,
Exactly.
but then you got voices, right? You got the Ryan Upchurch scam. You got the making of COVID cards, which was a felon. You got Kim, who's going to court on the 21st for her husband now who will be a felon on the 21st. So it's like, are
Yeah.
any of these people to judge? You got Broken Justice has her record. MKB has came out and admitted that she was a drug addict. How do we know you're not currently using? Like, should I start saying that
Exactly.
about these women? They all have records with drugs. Who the fuck are any of them to use against me? But most importantly, like I said, what does that have to do with my character today? What do you have on me
Exactly.
today? Do you think Mama Knows Best or Broken can give either of you a reason for why they truly hate me? What did I do to them?
No.
No.
I mean,
They
I'm
just
not
needed
gonna
to fit
lie.
in.
I've gotten messages like I never ever. I mean, I don't know what everybody gets these emails and shit. I hardly ever get anything like that.
I
But
ignore my emails anyway. I just delete them. Don't read them.
but I mean, I get something saying something about, oh, why do you like Jess? Why do you like TT? These are bad people, and
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't base things on what people whisper. Okay, I go by what I see. Okay,
Right.
I I base my opinions and on facts that I can see. I don't trust, like I said this in the beginning, I
I
don't
was
believe
listening.
screenshot bullshit because a lot of times that shit can be messed with.
Factored
You
up.
know,
Yeah.
I I don't believe any of that shit. I
Here's
go
the
off of how people treat me and how they treat everybody in general. You know what I'm saying?
One of the biggest reasons I got this hard as I got, well, I was nasty. I said nasty things. I'll own that.
Yep,
at
you
one
admit
point
it.
this YouTube stuff felt like it was world ending. Like when, you're getting it from this direction, that direction,
Mhm.
and it was easy to lash out. It was a fuck you session. Like
Oh, I
fuck
loved
you.
it when you first started. When you first started on Natasha train, it was brilliant.
Yeah. And because it was
Oh,
a
I
lot more
love-
relaxed then and it was fun
yeah,
and it was
yeah,
funny, it was careless. And now it's like people are calling CPS, they're calling probation, they're calling the police, they're trying to have me,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like it's gotten so serious. But one reason it's gotten so serious is because I was immediately successful. And people get jealous. And I know people are like, oh, some people are jealous is immature and
It's true.
but it is true. People are easy. Look how quickly they all turned on Mama Knows Best because she got a couple dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like the contradiction last night. I mean, I heard like and say on Mama Knows Best the other day, they're on about cash apps and PayPals and all this, and they're like saying, and the chat's like 80% of the chat is all talking about you, Jess, right? Yeah. And they're
Right.
going, why are they asking for money, right? When what's it? Or going at that way at the holiday. You're going to a wedding. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
But
like, I can't believe she's asking for money right yet, but then she's got a PayPal going in. No, you don't have it running across the screen at all. You have
never.
sometimes the mods will drop it now and again in chat, not very often. But
But you
then
know
you've
who
got
has it
him,
running across the screen
exactly all them
every
lot.
fucking day?
And he's got it on his bloody screen. I can't,
Every
you know,
single day, Lycan has a
exactly,
fundraiser. Every
exactly.
fucking day he has a fundraiser. But these
And he's got
people
it
want to talk about
going.
the one I had. I've had 3 fundraisers so far and I've had a channel for 15 months. Do the math on that. That's like one every 6 months. And these people want to talk about that as
Your
their
first one for holiday. You was going on holiday.
and we're still going to Florida. COVID
Yeah,
and the prices changed
yeah,
that. I still have those funds. We're still
yeah,
somebody said the other day, why can't she use those funds? Because those funds were designated for me and my children. That's why. Because I'm
yeah.
not dishonest with the money. Because that's where it sits. But it cracks me up but then you got those over like Mama Knows Best. Her cash out was pinned and it was going across her screen. What do you
Exactly.
every time she goes live?
You know what? Those people also have it in their about page.
No,
Right.
but then they come into different communities. It's like that Amanda Ananda, whatever her name is. She
Oh
don't
my
come on,
God.
but then comes over here on beg. Oh, I've got no electric. But then goes up on a panel, which she did last night, and said somebody asked her if she smoked weed. Yeah, and she did not weed and something else. I think it was not coke. Like an upper, like amphetamine, something
Don't get
like
me
that.
on that twat waffle, I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? And she goes, yeah, I do both. Do you know what I mean? Why would you say that when you've got no electric in house? You can't support your kids and you can't do nothing. You wouldn't say that.
Well, that's the thing. That's who those people are. That's why they always project out to me. Oh, Granny's a scammer. Look who the
Mm,
scammers are. Oh, Granny's a drug addict. Look who the drugs. And meanwhile, you got somebody who drinks every time they go live throughout their entire life and has daily fundraisers, and they have the audacity to continue to look in my direction.
exactly. An alcoholic who sits in the
You
same
know what?
clothes.
Do you guys also hear that in your head? The tinkling of the ice cubes all the time?
Oh
I
yeah.
know, yeah.
Do you know that
And
when I was talking
have
to
you
him?
noticed when he's lying, right? I've noticed that, every time he lies about something or he puts a false narrative out, he always giggles
Yep.
Yeah.
like a little
Yep.
girl.
Cooper's delight, just like Natasha
Yeah,
Cooper. Yep.
yeah,
And here's the other thing with that. When I was talking to him, I said to him, you drink every time you go live. Now, at that time, he was only going live like twice a week, right? But
yeah,
I said to him, why do you have to drink to get through a live? Do you realize that's an addiction? And he's like, oh, it's not an addiction, blah, blah, blah. So he said, it just makes me feel more comfortable, blah, blah. I said, yeah, it's an addiction. Social anxiety is an addiction. That's why I was an addict. It was social, whatever.
yeah,
So he made a deal with me. He wasn't going to drink for that live. And he went live and even admitted he wasn't drinking because of what I said. And the live was so awkward. The
Hmm.
point being, he now goes live almost daily and he's drinking each time and whatever, you know what I mean? One day these
yeah.
people are all going to wake up and what they just did to Mama Knows Best and Broken, they were going to, and Andrea mom, they're going to do to him. And I'm here for it. I can't wait.
I can't. I'm sat here with popcorn waiting. I am. I've got a big tub.
Well,
And I
I
Yep.
will
just
tell
love it.
you,
I'm
that
loving
whole
it because I think I said other night, it might have been in your chat or I might have said it on someone's panel other night. I says, I can't wait to see the little scurrying rats come running back because they will. They'll come running
Sad
back.
replay.
On apology tour. On apology tour. You
exactly.
know it.
I'm going
You
to get
know it.
emotional. But what's really sad is there's some of them I truly miss.
I know.
I know.
And it's so hard because I thought I had such a connection with them.
Hmm.
Well, they've been with you since day one, Jess, and they have. Do you know what I mean? And I get it. Do you
And
know what
I've
I
had
mean? They're the
personal
same
phone calls
people.
with them. And
Yeah.
I've had, you know what I mean?
No.
And I know a few of them have said to me, I left because of somebody else or whatever. But then when you
Yeah.
see them in these chat rooms, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing this person that would pray with me on the phone
I
in
know.
between these comments about my vagina, it's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What did I do to you that you can sit here and listen to these people say these hard, and you know that's not who I am as a person. You know it's not.
Don't get upset, Jess. Don't.
It's just so
It's
hard
hard
because
for
I
her
have
I
not to.
know.
such a bad image out here, but I'm not a bad person. And
The
it's
No.
so
biggest thing, I
exhausting
know,
that
I know.
every day
Yeah,
I'm fighting these bad images, right? Like, even right now, CJ already went to Granny faked cancer. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You see, I
And it's
didn't
like,
watch the birth.
because
I didn't
what?
watch that stream. I didn't watch that stream. You know, the birthday one.
Oh,
I was under the impression that she'd gone up there to say happy birthday. I knew she went over there now and again, but that's it. I wasn't aware he was on panel. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know what happened afterwards. I've not watched that live, but I've obviously been getting bits and bobs back.
now for the
Yeah,
subscribers, it was that she was up there
yeah,
busting and laughing with him. For me, it was that she took jabs at me. It was personal
yeah.
for me. For everybody else, it was like, wait a minute, we've comforted you, we've been there for you, and that quickly you're okay with him. And I get the subscribers' anger, but of course, it as you know, Granny told everybody to unsubscribe, so they unsubscribed, and she runs a cult, and it's like, no, no, these are people that have put in their time, their money, their prayers,
Yeah,
their patience. You know, they have a right to be upset too. But everybody thinks it's like, you know,
it's
like,
your
oh,
fault. Let's
right.
blame Jeff.
Everything's always me. It's like I love that I have a great community, but at the same time it's a double-edged sword because anything happens is always Granny. Like it's not like, you know, individual people as a Granny supporter, a Granny mod, a Granny. It's like always me. And it's like half the time I'm not even aware of what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's exhausting.
No, but they say that you're going live every day. No, you don't go. You don't. You go live what? You used to go live every day when you first came on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but now, God, twice,
I barely go live because I
two,
don't like
two,
going.
three times a week. Not even that.
It's not fun
Maybe once,
anymore.
twice.
No, I can say it's not very often.
No. And I'm tired of hearing how she jumps up everywhere and she doesn't. She
No,
doesn't. She's hardly on,
Oh
you
my
know?
God, I barely well, that's funny, right? I go on every panel, but then at the same time they're saying no creators fuck with me. So if no creators fuck with me, what fucking panels am I going on, you dumbasses?
exactly.
That's just like Kim saying I got my parking ticket because I was driving around at 5 a.m. buying drugs. Then how the fuck did I get a parking ticket if I was
If you're
driving?
driving around.
Like these people can't, they contradict themselves. They're so good, but they're so hateful they don't realize they contradict themselves.
No, but this is the one that had a political career and on her knees. If you get me drift, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh
I'm
my
being
God.
true though. True, as you
It
know.
is. It's so
She sits
true.
there calling. She sits there calling you, and I'm thinking, you lying car. Do you know what I mean? Look how you got where you got today, darling. Yeah, we're on your knees for half of your life. That's
And
what you're
honest to
good for.
God, I don't know if you know, but that is the true reports out there on her. That's literally what her business career says of her.
Exactly.
Like I'm not just saying, oh, a
That's
woman
why.
in this
That's why Anita
career.
knackered. That's why she had to have them done because
Right.
she's done
That's the real
290
allegations. Yeah.
80% on them. Don't trust.
But and yeah, it's just it sucks because I want to go live. I can't even go members only because I
I
got
know.
fucking Broken Justice spying in. I got Pesky spying in. I got all these people. Like I can't. If I wanted to go live with my community and just even if I just want to talk about like, oh, my son learned this new song and my daughters, I can't even do that.
I know.
It
Mhm.
is the most uncomfortable, unfair feeling. Every day I feel so fucking violated. I hate going live because even as I'm going live, he's shotting off community post after community post, but I'm the obsessed one. I don't fucking watch his live streams. He's watching my live streams and responding as if I'm even talking about him. It's like, and then these people will still go over there and be like, yeah, Granny's obsessed. She's mean. She didn't, mad she didn't get the peen. You know, somebody said in Broken's that I'm shoving my vagina down everyone's faces. What? Your chat is constantly
Jesus.
about my vagina. You think I want to? You know how violating it is to have all these people talking about your vagina every fucking day? But oh, poor Lycan for the same fucking thing.
It's been going on now for over a year now. It's
Here's the
ridiculous. It
thing
needs to
I have
stop.
to say
And
about that is if he sent his stuff out to people, he's the one shoving his dick down people's throats. I'm just
he
saying.
did it before he even met Jess. It was already out
Mhm.
there.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
He
It,
blamed the girl before me for revenge porn. He blamed the girl
Yeah,
before her, and now he's blamed the girl after me. Right?
yeah.
Did any of us really do it? Who the fuck knows? It's just whatever he wants to put out there, and he does that to justify his next move. It is so calculated. It is. Oh my God! It's so gross. I hate him. There's not many people I hate. I hate him. We used to
Well, I
have
can't
so much
stand it.
fun.
I've
We used to
never
be a
had
good, You know?
Oof.
And then it's like you
Mm.
got somebody went live tonight and said, "Oh, Granny's a notorious doxer." Of
What the fuck?
who?
Who?
Who have I ever doxed? And honestly, I'm at the point where if I decide tomorrow I'm going to dox off everybody, photos and all, so the fuck what? Look what you've all done to me. When they would justify it for liking at this point, right? He could murder somebody and they'd be like, well,
And
liking.
Rick already threatened to do that. He's threatened to smash somebody, punch the girl in the throat. He's threatened to run over
Shoot,
you. He's asked somebody to hang this in. He's told Sally Ann to pop pills. Do you know what I mean?
shoot
And now he's
Dorothy in the
threatening to put
face.
Somebody,
people in a wood
don't forget
chipper.
the wood chipper. The wood
Yeah,
chipper.
exactly. Do you know what I mean? What's it? He's oh, God, I can't stand him. He makes my
He just
skin
doxed Tiffany
crawl.
the other day, right? Put out her full name, state, where she lives, all that, town, state. But we're gonna lie that Granny's a doxer, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, she is. Oh my God, that's so bad." But they sit with people that
Do you
really
know if
have
he didn't
gone real
talk
life.
about you, if he did not talk about you or Tiffany, he'd lose everybody. There'd be
He
nobody
knows.
there. I know, yeah.
He knows. He knows that. That's okay because listen, look at their, and I hate to keep saying it, but what's happening right now with Mama Knows Bust and
Yeah,
Broken, it's going to happen with either Lycan, Kim, or they don't have track records of supporting people very long.
no.
That's why I
They've
laugh
got
when they're
short
like,
shelf life. Yeah.
when they're like, no creators support Granny. One, not only is that not true, and first off, I've been spending more time over in different communities. None your business, nonsense, Penny, Bomb. They all support me. They're in my chats. I'm in their chats. These people are so simple minded. They don't realize YouTube's bigger than their little hate fest. They're like, I think they wake up dreaming of me. They go to bed dreaming of me, wake up talking about. I think they just obsess over me that they don't
I
realize the
don't think they
tubes are
go to
bigger.
sleep. They don't go
Right.
to sleep. I
And then
picture him in them same clothes right there. You know, when you've got somebody tapping on the keyboard 24/7 with red eyes and steam coming out the
yes,
ears. That's what he reminds me on. Like
I've seen
lurking with all
memes that
TV
very well
screens,
depict
making
that.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
But
his
what's
what's it?
funny
Like
is
his yeah.
I've always I've always prided myself on pretty much standing on my own. And although I've had people stick up for me and I've stuck up for people when I truly felt it right, including Natasha Cooper and her moderators,
Yeah.
what just happened with someone the other day, I'm going to stick up for those type of things because I
Yeah.
can see it. I know it's wrong. But I don't have to worry. Like right now, Mama Knows Best went from let's hope we can get to 1,000 tonight to probably all of them unsubscribing. I don't have to worry about that because I've done this.
Yeah.
I've stood on my own. I've taken beating or beating. I've released onto anybody else's channel, stay afloat. Matter of fact, I've had a lot of leeches onto my boat. And at the end of the day, I'm still standing because of you all, because the community is holding me afloat. It's a blessing. So for them to act like it's a bad thing that none of the supporters, none of the creators over here like me, then so be it. When it takes 45 of you to go after one person, I don't think you really have bragging rights. You know what I mean?
No, but you've got what you're on nearly you're 6,000 nearly. You've had a
Yeah.
good chunk of them since day one, and they've still been with you since day one. So they've
Mm-hmm.
been through this whole journey with you.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So obviously people protect you because they love
That
you
was
guys
amazing.
You know
and
what gets
and
me is the situational people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like they see someone like Jess, okay, and they cling to her because they want to
Hmm.
grow. They want to
Yep.
grow their shit. I've had a channel. No offense, Jess. I've had my channel longer than you've had yours.
I know. I remember, Ginger, I came over and said, I didn't know you have a freaking channel. Didn't
Exactly.
even know you had
Because
one.
I don't sit there and advertise it because when I come to your chat, I'm there to support you. I'm not there to advertise myself.
Well, what's a
That's
shame is I wish that I could put out everybody's channels, be like,
don't.
oh, go subscribe. But people turned so quickly
Mhm.
on me that channels I
Nope.
did advertise ended up hate granny channels with my
yeah.
people, like it for example. And it's like
That's
I've learned the hard way that I cannot do that. Plus, then when the mass unsubbing happens, they're like, oh,
mhm.
it's a cold. And it's like, no, they came with me. They're leaving with me. You'll probably keep one or two.
Mhm.
But the majority, they're not, they witnessed everything. They know everything. You can't pull the blinds over everybody's eyes all the time.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. When you were coming over to
Exactly.
your chat, when you first started coming over, and you like everybody used to go over to his chat.
Oh,
I think
so
I were
stupid.
probably our what only ones what never went over. Ooh, I didn't
I
go with
look
you
back
lot.
and it just,
No.
Well,
you
I
know what
can
I
see
look
that
back and it
they
really
get
hit me?
butthurt, I get sick of them getting butt hurt and then turning on whoever helps them. That's bullshit. If you're here to build a channel, you build it on your own, right? You don't expect handouts, whatever. You work to build your own shit. You don't expect someone like Jessica to do it for you. That's
Exactly.
fucked.
She did it, Sen.
Well,
She did it
and the
herself.
problem is, if you do it that way, then you can't be surprised when you end up like a B minus, where people don't even show up to your live streams. You have no subscribers. You have no real community. Your community is based on whatever bigger channel you leashed onto, and
Mm-hmm.
that is not healthy for a channel. I actually originally wrote that in my post, like, why do you think I've been
Sure.
successful and you guys haven't? But then I took all that out because I'm like, I don't want to sound like I'm like bragging here because I'm not really
Mm-mm.
successful,
But
but
it's true.
I've been pretty blessed. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just want them to understand that just because you think you're part of the in crowd right now, they will kick you out. And when they do, they will stomp all over you on the way out. And they are witnessing it with Mama Knows Best and Broken. And not
Mm-hmm.
many people took the opportunity to say, wait, how do we know? They right away were like, I knew it. I never liked her. She scammed at Christmas, blah, blah, blah. She lied about cussing. I mean, they went cutthroat just like that because it is such
Yeah.
an echo chamber. And when I do see my chat getting that way, which believe me, I say it, I've
Mm-hmm.
told people when that Lauren bitch was on panel, I told people, chill. I didn't like her
Yeah.
either, but chill. When
Mm-hmm.
CJ was on panel, I offered several times, do you want me to turn off the comments? I will. I don't want to be that echo or like a free for all where people can attack people, but I also don't want to silence people when it affected everybody. They're hurt. But
Yeah.
I never want to be that channel where one day I'm like they did it with Tiff. Oh, I don't like her. They're all like, yeah, we never liked her. Oh, nope, I lied. I like her. And they're all like, oh, we love you. And then, oh, no, now we're done. And they're like, you fucking meth head with
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It's like you fucking Natasha Cooper Juniors. And yet they're
Oh my
constantly calling
God.
me NC Junior.
I was going to say that. Here they said it the night before that you were Natasha Cooper Jr., yet they fucking, everybody pulls it on them. Oh my God. Thank
And then
you.
Ginger, I'm Natasha Cooper Jr., right? And all those things. But that night, they all ran in Natasha, like he's trying to take a leg. He's asking for do
Mm-hmm.
all his subscribers. They're going, oh, Natasha, you're so fun. Oh, you're so funny. A lot of them have been back. But wait
Oh,
a minute.
is this about the 30,000?
Yeah, with the hooker bullshit.
Yeah, because
Which whose
I
business is
missed
that
all that. I
either?
wasn't online. But what's it? I noticed. I was watching the live. I watched the live replay. Sorry. What's it? And I saw Lindsay come in,
Yeah,
and she was
they say
deleted
you're
straight
saggy
away.
tits out here.
And then I noticed their community post saying, "Oh, look how quick they all run over." Do you know what I mean? We knew they were always there, and they were like highlighting Angela's comment.
Right, Angela's comment, but did they not see like How about Without Borders or X Amount or
Yeah,
all the people that were anti Natasha and yeah, Granny's Natasha Jr. But I mean, and they stayed after the topic of Hooker ended. They stayed, and the minute Natasha said everybody's welcome, here came Mama Knows Best. Here came Andrea's mom, Giddy to get in the
well, look
club.
at him.
Matter of
He were
fact,
in there
when they went
straight away.
straight away. And when they were live the other day, Andrea's mom literally wrote in the chat, took a screenshot. Hey, Mama Knows Best, are you going to invite Natasha over? So that quickly, those
Yeah,
people who were menacing about this woman thrown in jail, these people who hate Natasha Cooper and they even went after her granddaughter, and I'm NC Junior, and I'm the one that's supposedly working with her, and I'm in secret cahoots with her, blah, blah, blah. That quickly, they were all over there like, hey, Natasha, so good to see. Oh, you're so funny. Oh, praise it, Natasha, praise it. Yes, let's not hate on anybody, but MRB. Yeah, okay, yeah, cash apps.
Oh my
What?
God. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it because the night I went over, when all that shit was happening with To the Moon, right? I hadn't been in Coop's chat for over a year, right? I go in there because she's actually told Moon not to be doing this shit. You know, if she was going to go legal, shut her mouth and get off, right? I said, well, that was sound advice. And they were very rude to her. So I went over to her chat and I freaking popped in and I said she did the right thing and thank you for doing that. Right?
Right.
And boom, guess what? They fire up a live dragging me over that
Yep.
because I was a traitor for going to Natasha's. And I said, hey, wait a minute. You don't tell me where I can go either. And I
Yep.
said, but you know what? You can't expect someone change their behavior for the better if you're going to criticize them for every little thing they do, and
Yep.
then you're not going to give them credit for things they do right.
Well,
It's
it's
like
funny that
it's like
I never.
with Amber. I felt guilty. I felt guilty over that. You know, when it all kicked off. You know, the first fallout. It was me what started it off in the chat. Jess wasn't even on the panel yet. We was all in chat, and I'd been over to Dorothy's, you know, looking from outside in, and I saw it when she gave you know, when she was giving Natasha Cooper a platform when she'd been booted.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
saw it in that chat, and she was sucking up to her, right? Yeah. Then she came into Jess's live, and we were all waiting for Jess to come up. And I said something to her, and she came in, and she's on about calling Natasha, blah blah blah. And I says, hold on a minute. You were in over Survivor the Storms last night, and you was kissing her ass. No, I was not. I said, yes, you are. And I told her exactly what she'd said in the chat. Well, she denied it. I says, well, I'm telling you now, I've got screenshots to prove it. So you're a liar. Well, she goes, I'm not having this. I'm out, right? And then fired up a live and went at Jess for it. Now, I felt guilty about that because that was my fault, but she took
They
it
all
out
do
on Jess.
that. No matter what, if it's my moderators, even if they have a channel or not, I always get the blunt of whatever's said and done.
No,
Always.
but
It
I
was
did
ridiculous.
apologise to you in chat,
But
and I apologise to you. You
yeah,
know what I
of
mean
course.
about
Yeah,
it.
I'm not mad at you for it. I'm mad at the idiots that blame it on me. It's funny though.
Yeah,
Remember when Mandy did it all and Natasha and her community stepped up and was reported, blah blah blah. I simply
yeah,
wanted to thank Natasha. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciated what she did, and I'm woman enough to thank my
exactly.
enemies if need be.
Yeah,
So I thank her. They still, up until Natasha's live the other day where she invited everybody in, they were still using that against me. She's an NC sellout. She flipped back and forth to Natasha. She's trying to merge communities with Natasha. But how quickly did Lycan try to take that link?
exactly. Straight
And
away,
guess
he was
what? He went
backstage,
over
wasn't
today,
he?
and Natasha told him to get the fuck out. So I don't know when you're going to learn that that's what Natasha does. Oh, it's a peace agreement. Everybody's welcome. Get her subscriber count up. Get some of your subscribers in there. They start laughing. And what happened? Because where are all the people? Where are you all at that were in Natasha's the other night going, yeah, Natasha. Oh my God, Natasha, you're so funny. Feels so good to be back. Blah, 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 blah. Ever since she told Lycan to
I've
fuck
been
off,
down
not
there.
one
I
of them
know.
has
I've
been
been in
back.
Natasha's. I went to Natasha's once, and that was that same night when she said that for you, when all that kicked off. And I went in and said, don't block me. I've only come in to say thank you for doing what you did. And I thanked her, you know, her members, because they came into your chat as well, didn't they? Because they were asking you to go and take the link over
Yeah.
Natasha's, because they kept asking people to come in to get you. Do you know what I mean?
And I turned down Natasha's offer 3
Yeah,
times to go up on her
yeah,
panel, go over there. If I was looking to merge my community or take subs from her or do anything, I would have taken those offers. I did not. But who ran begging for the offer, and how come nobody's speaking on that? How come it's like, oh, it's okay that he did? Because they're afraid to have a phone in with them, because guess what? Look, there goes the channel. That's why you don't fucking put on, you don't leech on to somebody else. And I saw it coming. But what was also funny is the next day Kim goes live and she's calling me out for being in the chat. I asked 2 questions. My third comment was, laugh out loud, they still harass me for a night. I said thank you to you. But here they all come running in the moment you said they're welcome. You can't
yeah.
make this shit up. I pieced out. Kim,
I
who
know.
said I'm cyberstalker, does an entire live about me being over at Natasha's. Then when it's brought up, the people are like, I'm sorry that I was there, Natasha. I'm sorry I was there, Kim. I didn't realize how it would feel to you. And bullshit. But the minute they brought up like it was Kim justified. On what basis? That you need his
Exactly.
channel? You fucking idiots. This is exhausting.
They do need his channel to keep afloat because they know it. Because he'll take them down. He probably has got shit on him and all.
Right, that's it. He is now their
Yeah, and his subs go in there, so that's why he's got a wrench, you know, hasn't he? So in every single one, wrench or happy him. Whoa, do you know what? I can't even believe I share my birthday with that idiot. Can't get my breath. Is she gone?
I think she dropped.
She probably went out once because she was roboting a bit, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change my birthday. I've got to. I ain't
You share a
sharing my
birthday with who?
with that mutt over there. Well, I tell you something, he ain't no tourist. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good gravy.
I know, I know.
Oh my God.
He's a muppet.
At least you don't have to change countries.
I can, yeah, exactly. I can celebrate my birthday before he even gets up. Buzzing, innit? Oh God, I was devastated when I found out. It was like a stab to heart. That was a gut punch.
You didn't derail it, jack crap, Granny. You had a lot of good things to point out, and
Yeah,
you're
but she's
always
right
welcome.
though. No, I felt a bit horrible then when she got a bit upset. But it's not nice. It isn't nice. It's
Well,
been going now for what?
I
It's been
feel that
going on for over a year. Well, longer.
I
And it's
feel
not
that
fair.
she's been targeted a lot.
I know.
And I'm not saying that because I'm a simp. It's what I've observed, you know? And it seems like everybody likes to take pot shots at whoever rises quickly. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
They did it to Brittany Preston. They did it to her. They did it to, and it's always like she said. There's always the
Well, they
same
did it to
type of
Brittany J,
people.
didn't they? I mean, what's it? Because she wouldn't be
Hmm.
in Lycan's community no more. They all took jabs at her, tried to say, I mean, she stuck to true crime and look to go in now. I mean, she's got a good channel. She's doing good. Good
Yeah,
on her. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? But
I'm proud of her. I'm proud.
they kept trying to bring her back into drama. I mean, I don't even hear her Ollie no more. I don't even know if she's still here. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah,
I
it
wouldn't
gets them
even
in the
know.
club. See, and that's the thing. Even in high school, I was one of those people that didn't go for that shit. Nope, nope,
No.
nope. I was I joke around about that, and I've said that on my lives before. I had friends in every crowd. I'm not gonna lie, but I was always that girl hiding under the bleachers smoking a cigarette. So,
I always say, I always refer to myself as I'm the antisocial bitch. Me, myself, and I. Do you know what I mean? What's it?
mhm,
But I love me haters. You got to keep them. I share the love. Love it. Do you know what I mean? They keep me motivated. So instead of dissing them, I just send them love.
mhm, mhm.
Got
And
to,
the,
haven't
it,
you?
and I've seen this happen too many times when somebody has the ear of many, or seems to have something going. There's a lot of petty people, you
Oh,
know,
I know. Well,
and
one of
stuff.
my biggest problems. What's it? She popped back up and I don't. She'd been gone 4 months. I didn't. Sofa. I'm on about sofa, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, other night I've gone. I was testing because
She
I'd
has
only
me
gone.
blocked, honey.
Well, I did have her blocked, but then she's
No,
come
she
in
has
under,
me blocked.
and then she come under a real name, and then she come under a first name and another thing. So she came in 3 times. So in end, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to entertain the bitch. You know what I mean? I says, yeah. I says, what's happening then? I says, why are you here? Do you know what I mean? And then she starts going blah 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 about why I left her, why I wouldn't leave Jess's. I says, look. I says, you know what? You're off your head, mate. I says, just get over it. I didn't want to be on your channel. I fucked you off, right? Yeah. And you're pissed because you got outed out of a community because you were caught lying, which you are. Do you know what I mean? And I stayed at Jess's. I never moved. I didn't go nowhere. She goes, yeah, but everybody turned against you. I says, I'm what? I says, I'm not there for that. I'm there. I know who my friends are. Do you know what I mean? I talk to the
Mhm.
people I want to talk to, and I'm there because I'm there supporting Jess, whether
Well,
we get on or not. We do have his fallouts. I'm not saying we don't. We
see, and
always
the
have
thing
them.
is, during all that havoc and stuff, I didn't take any sides. But when I heard she was talking about, she lives in the same area I'm from, and she's
Oh,
talking
no,
about
bless
like
you.
all these fancy, all these fancy stores and shit. And I'm like, we don't have that store here. We don't have that
Exactly.
there.
It's full of shit. She's full of shit.
And I'm like, what is she talking about? Because, dude, that doesn't, like it's a building that doesn't exist anymore. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
Yeah.
really? Because
Oh,
nobody,
I'm spending all this money and I'm going into I think she
Van
were in
Mar,
T bar. We're piano. Somebody's playing the piano and I'm spending this much and this much. Oh, I've just spent
oh, Neiman,
$1,000. Oh my gosh.
what
Can she
was
hear
that?
herself?
What was that? No, Neiman Marcus or something like that?
Oh, I don't
And we
you
don't
can never
have the
keep up with her.
freaking Neiman Marcus here. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Maybe she means Van Mars, but I haven't been in there for years since they had that mass shooting there, like in 2007. Nobody goes there anymore. I don't even know if they have a pianist anymore. I
She
mean,
just sits in a car and just goes la la land, doesn't she?
oh
Really?
my
To be
God.
fair.
Fuck. I'm like, we're in the, I
Um,
mean, I did joke about that with a couple of people from the area. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go lean on the piano bar, have a few drinks, like next thing I know, people are saying hi to her, and I'm like, I don't see her. She had me blocked, and I'm like, she must have seen me making my snarky little comments.
I mean, I never spoke to her at first, and then I thought, "Do you know what? I'll give her a dues because she came in. She knew everybody hated her, but she
Hmm.
came in. She came into the chat, and she owned her shit. And I've got to give it her. Do you know what I mean? Knowing full well she's walking into like 600 people, and everybody hates her. Do you know what I mean? She's, you know what I mean. So I give her a dues for that. But she's a two-faced cow. Always has been, and
Well,
she's a liar.
the creepy stuff was all the like the all the stuff that I just got done stating. I don't believe a lot of the shit I see, but when you see so much of
Yeah,
the same person, it's like you can't ignore it, you know?
you just have to sit back. Just sit back and watch the chats, and then you see it for yourself.
And I'm like, okay, she hates this person now, but she likes him 2 minutes later. And it's like bipolar fucking much. I mean, it's like all hot and cold in the same fucking chat. And it's like, really? I just didn't get it. You know,
I mean, it's like with Lindsay. I didn't have no problem with Lindsay, right? Yeah, and until she did the fun for her brother. Fair enough. I was in that chat, which I was. Not gonna lie. Then I think Jess and no, it was Lindsay what went at Jess over something, and then she brought the TikTok up. That
uh-huh.
was wrong. That was wrong on so many levels. You know what I mean? And Lindsay denied it. Right? Yeah. She goes, I did not put a name up. Blah blah blah. I said, she did. You're a liar, Lindsay. You did do that because she like put it up for a bit and then she took it straight back down and then she changed it up. Do you know what I mean? But originally she did. She doxed a child and she had no right to do that. What's she doing? Downloading kids. It's wrong. But then she's
Mm,
turning around and throwing it, saying everybody's going after her. She's a liar. She
yeah.
brought her own shit to YouTube. I
I
knew
think,
about all her shit 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's just same shit. It's on a rinse and repeat. Same cycle, different person. She blames somebody else. Just own your
deflection.
shit,
Yeah.
woman. And that's where it is. Just own it. You brought it here. It's your problem. It's over. Do you know what I mean? Stop blaming other people. Own your shit. Innit? Oh, some people, eh?
Mhm. Right? Oh
I
my God.
know. I mean, it's I mean, once upon a time, I remember when Navigator used to be, and I as well. She always been a bit salty sometimes, you know what I mean? But she used to be all right once
Oh
upon a
my God.
time. I'm going back some years. I'm going back a few years. I mean, she's a
And then
top
somebody
now.
like I went on, I said something really snarky earlier this week and someone says, "Well, you know what? You're usually so sweet, And I'm like, "Yeah, but just ask my husband. He says I'm like salty caramel. I'm sweet, but I'm salty."
Sweet and sour. Sweet and sour. You can be salty when you want to, innit? Oh
Nope,
dear. I
nope.
mean, I didn't even know Amanda had left other until I asked about it other day.
Who?
Where's Amanda? Amanda, she used to be Jess's mod. Amanda Meatfoot, we used to call her.
Oh, isn't
Because I
she?
knew she was in MJ's, so I just presumed she was still over there. I didn't know because she shared mods in it. But I didn't
Oh,
know.
I thought.
That's how much I'm in now. I'll just see people there and they go.
Yeah,
Crackers.
that's what I thought. I thought she was over at um
I just thought she went into true crime because that's
yeah,
what Melissa does now, isn't it? So
yeah. You never know. I hate to say that. A lot of times you never know.
I don't
You know.
know. I ain't got a clue. I mean, I've not even been out. I've not seen Melissa about for ages. But I don't go to them channels. You know what I mean? I think I'm sub to about 4 channels, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I don't
No, five.
I
Sorry,
used to get
Jora,
around.
Jora, someone, Jess, and CJ. Five.
I
That's
mean,
it. That's it.
I love that name. She was just in Pink Snaggers.
Oh, she about still then? Oh, I don't know.
Snaggle Wolves.
You don't
Snuggle.
hear her no more. I mean, I must not be looking out right side, but I don't go looking for them either. So,
So what I don't get, so is Andrea now on are they going against her now?
oh, I don't know. I thought she were off. I don't know. I see. I don't even know where that Sarah went either. You know that
Oh,
oh, what's
yes,
her name? That Gold Star
GLM,
woman. Yeah, that one.
Gold
That
Star
must.
Mom.
Yeah, yeah, that idiot. She is an idiot.
Wow, that one was. Tell me you didn't see that coming.
Oof. I mean, it could be under a new name. I don't know, but that was pathetic. What she tried to play out
Well,
about
see,
everybody. Everybody don't know what a gold star means. No, I didn't. I just thought her name. That's her name. She went by gold, not because of her son in the military. I didn't know that, and neither did our fit chat. How are
well,
we supposed to know that, innit?
here's the thing. She was in. She did go panel with Natasha.
Yeah,
She See, she was coming into Natasha's when I left. Okay, and then she went on or I think she earned her way on panel. And when she get on panel with Natasha, now if anybody knows, I'm not. This is not throwing shade on Natasha, but you can't be the star. Okay,
no.
you cannot. You cannot take the focus off of her. Okay, that's just how it
You
is.
can't even have an argument or a conversation with her because she just moots everybody. It's a one-way thing with her. It's either her way or no way, innit? Really?
Yep. Yep, exactly. And then see, this is what it's like from observing her there. She every time she got on a panel, she had to make it about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you could just see Natasha's face. She would eye roll. See, people don't pick up, but you watch her for a while and you could see her signals. When she's fed up with someone taking her thunder, or, you know, getting off topic of what she wants to talk about, she's going to roll her eyes and she's going to cut you off eventually. Hey, Bones, good to see you, honey. Um, but that's how she rolls, right?
yeah,
And then, of course, she went off on her, but she would come into different chats then, testing the water. I'd say, what do you have against Natasha? To everybody. At that time, it was real heated against
yeah,
Natasha, right? So people were trying to tell her that at that point, that if you leave, you're followed. And at that time, when you left, you would be followed. Okay? There was a
yeah.
lot of shit going on. Yeah.
I mean, I
Go
were
with
never. I
that.
mean, I were
She
never a
was
part
cool
of
with
her
the underwear
community.
thing.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, the only time me and Natasha's ever actually spoken to each other, well, we hadn't actually spoken to each other. I'll tell a lie. She's addressed me in
Hmm.
chat. Well, she's addressed me twice. Once when I said thank you for what she did for Jess that night,
Hmm.
and the second time she addressed me when Jess was on Jess was on her channel doing a live, and she was on Randy's live panel, that Randy's live, and she was, and the chat was just all against Jess, and like, which they were all her mods were in there, you know, the mathy ones, the main ones, and she was on panel saying blah blah blah. She's done this. I have never said that, and I went in chat, and I think it was me and Delaney at first. Me and Delaney were arguing with all mods in there. Do you know what I mean? And then Randy put my comment out. I goes, "You're a liar. She's a liar." Do you know what I mean? She did say that. She seems to think, you know, because her channels have gone down, that there's no evidence out there what she's ever said. She thinks it's a clean slate. She's never done this. I've never ripped anybody's appearance. Hold on, yes, you did. You got a fake. You pressured. Jess was pressured into going on cam, which you are. And then when she did, they took a screenshot or took a picture on it, and they ripped Jess to bits for hours. And I mean hours. You know what I mean? For what? It's just jealousy at the end of the day,
Yep.
because they weren't expecting her to be as she looked in Avatar. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can think on.
Yeah. And she did. Bones is right. She did it very publicly. But my
Yeah,
thought was, here's Gold Star running around to all these places telling everybody, why don't you give her a chance? Why do you say that? And it's like, if you knew her, you would know.
yeah,
Right? And it's like, go ahead, be seen over here. Find out what happens. You know, find out what happens. And this is coming from someone who left. I'm not dogging on her. That's over a year. But I'm just saying, she was so pro her, and then the next thing you know, she's over with everybody else, worming her way in, not to be mean. But oh gosh, by the way, I have this channel. You know,
I know.
it was like, really? Really? So you're gonna try to jump on the whole anti-Natasha train now and trying to pick up subs here and there?
Well, she's doing
And
a
when it
liking, isn't
didn't
she? She was a sub grabbing, isn't she? She was sub grabbing from every
yes,
single
and I
channel.
felt like and it's bad that I felt like she was using different people
Yeah.
to
Well,
do
she went
that.
to Kelly. I couldn't believe it when she went to Kelly. I thought, oh my God.
Mhm.
Dorothy one did me, and I thought, and Vivian, I thought, wow, it says it all now. Just takes biscuit, doesn't it? Couldn't believe it. And them lot all fell for it.
See, you know what? I forgot. Here's the thing, I forgot Vivian even existed. God, I feel bad. I'm not trying to be
Um,
mean, but I forgot all about her.
oh,
But it's
delusional Dorothy and Vivian, oh, honestly, she's an idiot.
Dorky
I've
Dorky is
never known
insane.
anybody like them two, honestly. Delusional, Dot. She is delusional, that girl,
Oh my
honestly. I've been in chats, when I used to go in there. This is before everybody fell out. Do you know what I mean? And I remember falling asleep on panel, and a
uh
kid coming in trying to wake her up, and then main mod, or what's his
Yeah.
name? Is it John?
Which one? Oh, John?
John into he were ringing her up, trying to wake her up, and she's done it quite a few times. Oh my God, it's embarrassing. But when I first went in there, she was attacking Natasha and Merv. And I didn't even know Merv. I didn't even know who the woman was.
It's
And,
hilarious. Now that you say that, here's a rumor. Okay. And I know you're going to love this one. Way back, like a couple years back,
yeah.
the rumor going around was I was Red Kim's alt.
I
Okay.
know, dude. It's like we navigate Enchanted. She's
Like
oh
they
my
were
God, who did you say
behind the,
Enchanted for?
they were behind the scenes talking and saying that I was Kim. Okay. Well, at that time, John was part of that. He was a mod
Yeah,
there. So he went to Dorothy and told Dorothy, obviously, that.
yeah.
Because the next thing you know, during that group chat thing, that supposedly Kim and Crafton were in Turtles group chat, right? We're like,
Yeah.
where in the fuck is Kim and Crafton? Because we're like, and we're like, where in the hell are they getting this? And it's like I get confirmation from a couple other people that Dorothy was told I was Kim. So I'm like, dude, I have been
Okay.
on so many panels by then. You could tell we don't have the
But I've
same
known, I mean, how long have I known you now, Ginger? What, 2, 3 years? I've always known you, Ginger. You've never been you've never been anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I've always known you as Ginger.
See, and that I admitted
It's
that freely.
crazy.
I said I started out, and I still have the account, is
Mm.
Ginger Treasure
Yeah,
before I opened my channel. Then when I opened my channel, I would be working on content, and a lot of times go into chats and forget to switch it. And then finally,
yeah.
I just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna stick
Well,
with
it's
the
like
one."
me. Everybody knew. I mean, I've been around here for what, 3 years, 3.5 years, and everybody knows me as Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's Sarah Louise and what's it? And the only reason I changed it to replay crew because one, I just seem to just get onto channels what we're all American and we've got like a 6 hour time difference. So everybody went live at stupid o'clock my time. So I'd always be on the replay. So I just used to put replay crew. And at the time, every chat I'd gone in, they were always dissing somebody called Sarah. And people were asking me in chat, are you that Sarah? And I'm going, I am not that Sarah. So I changed it and I just stuck the replay crew. You know what I mean? Because if I went into Crafton's and Kim's, he was obviously on about his ex partner, wife, or whatever she was. That's Sarah. But I thought, oh my God, I can't get away from Sarah. So I had to change my name.
Right? Right.
Crazy.
And that's the
Crazy.
funny thing. And in that group chat, I said that I was in there. Urban knows he was in there.
Yeah.
I said, they said, well, what if somebody sees this or this leaks? Because we were joking around because group chats leak, right? I said, I ain't saying anything in here I wouldn't say out there, right?
Exactly.
I was like, dude, I mean, I ain't changing my personality. Now, I did say a couple things in there at the time. They had said, okay, and I'll say it with Justin here. They were like, Justin, Kim and Crafton were friends. And I said, wait 4 months.
Yeah.
Wait 4 months. And god dang if it didn't happen. And Jess knew it was,
Yeah, I used to. I mean, when Kim was in the chat and she had a wrench, I said it in the chat. Do you know what I mean? I said you're very vocal all the time, aren't you, Kim? Do you know what I mean? She was always bringing up her drama in the chat. I
uh-huh.
said you're too much in Jess's ear. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying just listen to her. I'm just saying when she tried to derail the chat all the time to make it about her and who she didn't like. Do you know what I mean? When Jess is talking about something else, but
Right?
in the chat, she's trying to derail the chat. Do you know what I mean?
Make it about
Oh,
her. Yep.
exactly. Or if it wants her, it'd be Crafton coming in
Mm-hmm.
and trying. Honestly, it's ridiculous. The
All
idiots
spin
claiming.
whatever narrative they needed to spin at the time.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not trying to dog on them. I'm not. But it's just what you see. You
Yeah.
can't, you can't unsee things, right?
No.
Like you
No, but I
can't.
mean, when Jess has got people on the panel, so obviously she's talking to the person on, so she can't keep an eye on chat all the time. Do you know what I mean? And she can't. So when she's talking to someone on panel, or she's got a couple of people on there, and then when they're coming in and trying to drop other conversations in, what's got nothing to do with what the topic's about,
Right?
do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. But
Which
then
is
it got the backlash at Jess because it was in her chat.
yep.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not fair. It isn't fair.
Mm-hmm. It was very.
So
I mean, I always thought that when you derail somebody's life like that, that's very disrespectful. Because it's hard for her to keep on topic when
yeah,
she's got to like put out fires or you know that's anybody. Whole
exactly. It is hard. It is hard.
and but back to Gold Star. How fast did that disappear? How fast did that
I know.
disappear?
Has she gone now? I mean, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I don't keep up with it.
All I know is she came back like a month after she started the stuff. Then she left. You know what I mean? Uh, After she got her digs in, she freaking left. Then she did what? Political stuff and something else. I don't know. I am unsubbed. I mean,
Yeah. Did she
uh,
change her name? Because it was. I've always known her as Gold Star Mum. I knew her name was Sarah,
yeah.
but she
I
never
let's
came
talk.
out as Sarah. But then I can remember after all that bullshit, what she came out with all that crap. And then she goes, "I'm leaving. I'm sick of drama." She came back as Sarah,
Mhm.
something else. I can't remember what it was now,
I
but
think
I've
she
not.
gave up on that. I think she bit off more than she could chew, arguing.
Yeah,
I know that the last live she did was with Milan,
yeah.
and that was I don't know. I mean, Milan was great when she was in Kelly's. You know what
She's
I mean?
nasty now. She's a nasty girl now. I mean, I used to piss her off on purpose, right? Yeah, because I used to put in big letters, Max, 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 Max. And I did that on purpose just to wind her up. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was funny at the time, but she deserved it. I'm
See, I
saying.
the thing is, that was another situation I think where
Oh,
they would come into my chats, Milan
mm,
and Gold Star, and then they stopped because I and oh, Jess will love this one. When I came out with my opinion about voices going on people's panels and taking them over,
yeah, she
all
was
of
a
a
mod
sudden
for
I
her
was
as well, wasn't she?
all of a sudden I was public enemy number one for doing that and a backstabber. No,
Yeah,
I'm not stabbing the back if I'm telling you straight up to publicly.
exactly. You're on a panel. You're saying it to that person. So
It's
how can you just that exactly?
I'm not talking behind the scenes. I'm publicly saying it.
Yeah,
I mean, I try to be as polite about things, but you can't be polite about that. You like that's just the way it is. I mean, if you're going to
say
take
what
over,
you got to say, in it, and it's
right?
done,
It's
man.
if you don't like that, maybe you shouldn't tell people to choke on bags of dicks and
Well, yeah,
puke chairs and say you disgusting felon, you're, shit like
Yeah.
that. Don't be an asshole and people won't call you on it.
Innit? Instead of screaming and going on one, just address it and
Hmm.
it's done. It's over. You either go your own ways, you either sort it out there and then, and it's done then, isn't it? Oh, but like I remember her first doing her own, when she did her own channel and she came out saying, I've got my own business, I don't need to be on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be in drama. And then not 2 days later, she's in drama. And then I remember just before it all kicked off, then she were asked, I think she were asking for a bit of support. I thought, hold on a minute, you've just said you've got money. You've got your own business. You don't need to be on YouTube to make money. So
Oh yeah.
what is it? Do you know what I mean? Oh, and then you've got Andrea Mob asking for help with rent, and I'm thinking, instead of being on, why don't you disconnect your YouTube, disconnect your Wi-Fi? There's a bit of money towards your rent. Do you
Here's
know what I mean?
the time
It's mad.
timing. Within a
Yeah.
month, and both of them within 3
Mm,
weeks to a month of going live, then they come out with that.
exactly.
It's like, okay. And somebody asked me that. I said, yeah. Do I have a Cash App? Yeah. But do you see it anywhere? No, because I have it for one purpose. My Cash App is so that I can transfer money from my bank account
Yeah.
to my kids for their allowances, and that's based on what they earn.
It's
Which
like me, I've got a PayPal and I've got a Cash App, right? Yeah. But I noticed, like when I went other places, right? Yeah. And people kept saying, oh, look at you sucking up to, because I'd sent like bought odd super sticker or whatever. So now if I do donate, which I don't do it often, but if I do, I'll donate straight to the PayPal. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because then it don't get rubbed in, it don't get took as one thing when it's got nothing to do with. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's asked for it. I've done it on my own. Do you know what I mean? I did it because I wanted to do it.
Oh, look, my son Irvin is looking for his allowance. He's like, "Ma, don't leave me out." No, but that's the difference. I notice, well, people will have in their description of their channel, they'll have
Yeah,
what the channel's about, right?
yeah,
And then, but some of these people, if you look, all that they have in their description is how to send them money.
yeah.
Nothing else. Come on. Does that smell funny?
I know. It's that with him though. He sits there calling everybody, but he's got his flashing across and what is it? Booze fund. The booze fund, in it. And then what's it? And then it's let's get to demon time and he's charging $75. I mean, I don't know how much there is in UK money, but $75 for a printer of a computer image. Just a
You know,
piece of paper. What's all that about?
you know what? You know what
And
though?
that's how they're paying it though.
When he
Idiots.
when he first came over last year, his setup was different. You know what I'm saying?
He never asked for money. I noticed he never did that. And he was excited when I got 25 in the box, yeah. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
But I thought
But
it was
now it's all money, money, money. If you want to talk to me or come up here, it's money. And I noticed that the channel, the shit show AC. I don't know
oh
if you go over
his
there.
somebody off for
Right. His
$5.
motto is he does it all the time and he's been doing it for as long as I've known him, right? Yeah. $5 or whatever, we could kick a panel off. He even kicks himself off panel, do you know what I mean? Or you can pay to put somebody back up. But I've noticed he's started using that phrase now.
Because I'm not trying to be mean, but some people are incapable of original ideas.
Exactly. I
And
agree.
I mean, I'm full of these fuckers. I'm telling you, I come up with the craziest ideas for different people. And I give it to them. I'm like, you want to do this? Here's an idea I have for this. You know what I'm saying? Take
Yeah.
it, use it, because it's just, this shit comes to me and I'm like, use this, you can have this idea. Like, I thought it would be funny to start a court show, right? With all the
Yeah.
fucking. I was like, we could do a 3 panel judge, right? Like 3 people as judges, and then people come up with their disputes. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be ace. That'd be
I
wicked, that.
three
I'm up
people,
for that.
3 people, all neutral people, right? Like 3 people, and then you have two, like you say, uh, say I'm just going to take it for example, liking a freaking granny, right?
Right.
And I'm just using that as an example. And we can find them and everything, you know?
Bring them up on panel, give them so long to speak, and then let the other one speak, and then we'll intervene.
Yep. And then it's like, we'll go, and our judgment will be in the back.
I mean, it's like, what's it? I mean, we obviously a different communities come into our community and everything. Do you know what I mean? He's like trying to spin that, bring it, saying Jess brought all that on him. Do you know what I mean? That never happened. It never happened. I was in Boss Bitches that day.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there with Fraud Busters, actually. What's it? I'd not seen Fraud Busters in ages because she'd lost the channel, the first one, because of him.
Yeah.
And then she'd made a second one, and I'd not seen her. And I just happened to just pot her on over there. And as I got there, I'm talking to Fraud Busters in Boss Bitches chat. And then he came in, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, what the fuck's he doing? Sorry. I thought, what's he doing here? Then he just grabbed the link and he went up. And then next minute, Brett come in and Terry and everybody. And the chat was just ripping him to bits before he even got up on.
I went and saw the clips where it's like basically he was, oh, these bitches want my dick. And I'm like,
that's all he was talking about. That's all the things. And then he wonders why he got ripped to bits. And then what's it? And then he got told. He was just told. Do you know what I mean? And then he got that mad, right? Because he was trying to get her to block people, or he were like trying to point Brett out. And then Brett like gave it him back. And then I think Tyler was in there, and I can't remember other person, but the old chat were just calling him out as a muppet, basically. And then he like rage quit. He rage quit. So that got Brett's attention, do you know what I mean? And then, it's been hilarious. I love it.
And then it got brought, then of course, Angela did her little clip of it.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
Hey, she's a clip channel, right? That happens.
And then Fraudbusters did, and she recorded the whole lot, do you know what I mean? It was so funny. And then she was pointing out the comments.
Exactly.
It was hilarious.
And then he tries to turn it on Jess, and it's like, she
has
to do with it.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
Because, from what I understand, he's known for going and he'll burn a community out, like get as much as he can from them, and then move on. You know what it reminds me of? Remember, I don't know, you're a horror fan, right?
Yeah.
He's like the tall man.
Slender Man.
No, tall man. The tall
man. Yeah.
From Phantasm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're about now, yeah.
Yeah, the tall man from Phantasm, where he goes and he sucks a whole community.
Sucks them dry. It's like an oxygen thief. That's what it is. He just sucks the community dry.
And
he leaches, and then he just bounces he bounces. And that's what he is. He's just a panelor. He's a renter, and that's all he does. But he was caught out straight away. They knew exactly what his game was, because he'd never been over there before. He just popped in saying, I just stumbled onto your channel. Do you know what I mean? And what's it? And they knew exactly what his game was, and he was caught out straight away. But Boss Bitch entertained it for a bit, let it carry on. Do you know what I mean? It was quite funny at the time. And then he come running home and to his little side and blamed it all on Jess. What's all that about? She wasn't even there. Right. But because we went over to Brett's channel one night, and because I think he tried to come in there one night, he got thrown out. But that's when it already got Brett's attention then. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite funny. I thought it was hilarious. But then everybody else is going, why are you bringing these people into this community? I don't even see this as a community. Do you know what I mean? We've got our side, which is the good side. And then they the scum. The Muppets of YouTube, they are. And they are what we don't, the rejects. What have been thrown out of everybody's communities because they're just horrible people.
Well, and I've heard it from, I've heard it from like several sources that this is like his third or fourth community.
Yeah.
And he does.
He's been out a few. I know that. I do know that.
He's mocking you.
Am I being mocked?
Yes. I literally just said he's mocking you.
I saw
But you
Pam
don't
talking to Stacy the beach.
on the
You drama
Oh,
or
you
parent.
do know he's gonna go live about this tonight. You know that, don't
Oh,
you?
good great. Like,
Bring it on. He's a
dude,
muppet.
oh, seriously, I got
I
dragged just
don't
for
He
modding.
just needs to slap. Is it honestly? He calls everybody Karens. I've never known no like it. I've never known a 40-year-old man act like a little. My 10-year-old daughter acts more mature than him, and she acts like a 28-year-old. She's got math on her. I swear to
Right?
God. Honestly, in fact, I put our Alicia against him. She'd probably knock him out. Honestly, I've never known no like it. He surrounds himself with women because he's an idiot. I think he was bullied as a child, personally. I think he's never had no friends. He's a billy no mates, and he's just clung to mamas who are all just looking after. Oh, come on, let's love you. Do you know what I mean? Idiots. Make me sick. A lot of them.
Or maybe she was overbearing.
I don't think he had a relationship with his mother. That's why he's tucked it all ags over there. They are. They're just all over ags over there. A lot of them. Do you know what I mean? Oh, let them crack on with it. Honestly, they ought to crack on with it and just go a bit further on. Get gone.
But I think that's what it was. It was branching out here because somebody told him it was a good area to go. Um, you'll see him probably branch out at other places. Then
I know. I love
eventually,
it.
he'll.
We were asking him not long ago if he wanted to true crime. I noticed him try and go on the Murdoch case. You know what I mean? And he goes, "Oh no, it's too boring," because he don't get the views, does he? Unless he's going at women. But 99% of his community is bloody women. But then again, the women who ain't got the children,
It's
who have got no morals anyway, are
it's
all either, and majority of them, and they are, there's some frigging disgusting people over there. I mean, we've got predators over there who have been convicted. Do you get the drift? And what's it? But it's all free for all over there. That's why they all, oh
oh my
my
god.
God.
Elvis was seen talking to Dr. Pepper last weekend, twirling wieners and everything. Oh my god, Miss
He's only imitating what you do. I'm not joking.
Oh, okay, Hemi, 71, chill.
Oh
71.
man, do you know what he's here, there, and everywhere? Emmy is. Go and give it a break, Emmy. Innit? God, go away. Honestly.
Chill, Hemi, I love you to death, sweetie. 71, she's very picky with who she talks to. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Leave
She's
our 71 alone. She's a good girl. Get him, Doc. Get him.
very picky. She's very discerning. And it's nothing personal.
She don't take no crap. Bless her.
Yeah. And it's like, I understand. I tell you what, when her and I first like started hanging,
Oh, shut up.
she was,
No, you know what I'm talking about.
well,
No, that.
oh, your dad?
Yeah.
Do you realise you're talking to someone from the future?
Uh,
What do you think?
oh my God. Oh
I
my
am.
God. Paranormal. Why is 71's wrench bigger than mine?
Because she's the main. Because she smacked it about. She knows how to use it.
That's my husband. Don't be jealous of her wrench. Don't be jealous of her wrench.
I'm
Oh,
gonna,
look,
I'm gonna have to jump down in a minute. It's like
Except
3:45 at my end.
I don't care.
Bones is flexing her wrench.
Oh,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say I'm gonna love you and leave you, my duck. Thank you for letting me come up.
Thank
I've had a blast
Thank you for keeping me company.
because I need to go to sleep. I've got to go over. I've got to go over to my son's in the morning.
Oh
It's my grandchild's birthday tomorrow, so it's two tomorrow. So I've got to go and do the mama bit.
oh
So,
yeah.
right, I'll
Responsibilities.
come down in chat and say hello to everybody, and then I'll go. So thank you very much for letting me come up,
Thanks
darling,
for coming, honey.
and have a nice night. Bye.
Dad, don't start singing. You're terrible.
I don't sing.
No,
I
I'm
suck.
saying Dad.
Oh, he's not gonna sing.
Yeah, he said y'all need to get along or I'll start singing. No. No.
Yeah, y'all need to get along. Oh, yeah, you guys do not want to hear him sing. It could be very painful to the ears.
It could shatter glass. And I need my glasses.
Anyway.
Not because I'm visually impaired. I have a cross eye.
I want to thank everybody for popping in. I mean, anybody else?
Oh, good time.
I think we covered pretty much all of it. Anybody else have any opinions? Oh, I'll quit mentioning that name. It's like Voldemort. Voldemort.
You say it 5 times in the mirror and she'll appear.
Beetlejuice or Voldemort? Beetlejuice 3 times.
Yes.
Voldemort is like...
Yes, I know how
What
Voldemort works. I've watched the movies. I'm not an idiot.
Well.
My God.
Do you require my services?
What did you do, old man?
Wow.
Yell at them very sternly?
Send them to their rooms?
Doesn't work with us. Why do you think it will work with grown adults? And I'll have you know, sending me to my room is not a punishment. It is a gift. I love my room.
Anyway. Thanks, Jill. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Down Nuggets.
No. I live to invoke chaos, and I want the computer. I won't play Minecraft.
Okay, y'all. I have to let my child take over my computer so she can play Minecraft.
I like Minecraft. And my computer's broken. Sir Frederickson III will be missed.
You name your computer?
That's been his name for 3 years.
Good night, everybody. Catch you on the flip side.
You name your computers. You don't?